other places. The more reason, even for us, we have diversified vision. These days we are not only talking about land, we are talking about water, we are talking about rental houses, we are talking about event crowds. We shall hear them because we are diversified. Thank you very much. I would wish that our board members mtokezee hapa because from there we cannot be able to see you. Wale wameacha wamekaa chini, what does it mean? I said all the board members, whether you are in the supervisory, whether you are in the management, it is good. So these are the people who have been leading your society, and I would say for many years, and they have been there. There is somebody else who has joined him at the head, Mr. Kimani. Mr. Kimani is a board member, followed by Mr. Thombe, another board member. We have our Honorable Treasurer, Mr. Boro. Let me jump to the person that I will hand over the mantle to. And we go to the lady in purple, Ms. Eunice Boge. She's also a board member. From there we have our Honorable Secretary, Mr. Bishohe. And then we have the group on the right. That is the supervisory group, starting with Mrs. Lucy Wanjohi, the secretary to the supervisory. We have Mr. Makomi, a member in the supervisory, and we have Mrs. Beatrice. Beatrice, you know, if I say Mrs. Beatrice Kamau, I'll be making a mistake. It's Mrs. Beatrice Joroge, but she's Beatrice Kamau officially. So, and she's the chair in the supervisory group. Those are the people who have been leading us. I am also there, Mary Mararo, and I'm the vice chair. Then we have our chair. You kama unataka kuwasalimia kidogo, alafu tukae chini sisi wote.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Peter Gikonyo. I'm Asian House and Corporate Society. And I'm happy that you came in good time. As the chair, I would like to take responsibility because of the failure of the mic. But God is great. We have got it. And time is not far much gone. We are going to finish in those time. Thank you.
Thank you. We also accept when we are wrong. We learn to accept and apologize. We also have our staff members. I don't know whether we have anyone who is near, but I think you have interacted with them. We have about 6 staff members who have been serving us. You know Agatha, we have Robert, we have Mary, we also have, why not mention, and we have Christine, why not mention, and we have Christine Wambui. We have several staff that have been serving us, and it is good that you come to know them. Those are our people who have been with us. Then, amongst us, you can see some other faces that are not. We have 2 people there who are from our audit firm. Maybe you can wake up and wave. Of course, you have your time. Yes. Then we have our DCO, Margaret Karibu Sana. Amongst us, we have the spouses of the directors, the ones who are there. I saw Mrs. Boro. Where are you? Mrs. Gikonyo. Wametoka. Oh, it's okay. And we can continue. Thank you very much. This time round, I give to our treasurer to come and give the statement of the AGM.
Thank you very much, Madam Mararo. I will do it here. As you have heard, my name is Boro and I'm the treasurer. I'm going to read the notice. Notice is hereby given to all members for the annual general meeting to be held on Sunday, 22nd March 2026 at Vision Plaza, Garden Loiro, 1-4 area, Kimbo, starting from 10 a.m. You have the agenda listed there, reading and confirmation of minutes for the previous meeting, matters arising, chairman's reports, supervisory committee reports, auditor's report year 2025, treasurer's report and budget for the year 2027, appointment of auditors year 2026, the power to borrow, shareholders' response, elections by rotation, and any other business. Those are the agendas that we have for today. At this juncture, normally ask whether there is any other agenda we may be having. We list it down so that it is allotted time for it to be discussed. Any other? If none, then that is what we shall have for today. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, with your permission, I would like to take this opportunity to declare our AGM officially open. And as the agenda have been laid, I got elected to agenda number 1, and hand over to the secretary, the honorary secretary, to take us through the minutes for the secretary.
God is good, and all the time, as we have been told, we are going through the minutes of the agenda, minutes of the last meeting that we had last year at this very venue. My name is Moses Gishuhi, as introduced by Ms. Mararo. Na mimi ndio katibu, lakini mimi sio nani, Sifuna, si ndio? God is good. So can we go through the minutes? I would like also to take responsibility for something that happened. The minutes that you have in your booklets are in draft form. That mistake was made, but I have the minutes that form our agenda, the official minutes, and they have been posted in our phone. So if you go to the phone, the group, in our group, the minutes are there. I would like someone to confirm whether they are there before I start reading. Check in your phone. We are going to follow the minutes from there. What you have is a draft. I would like to give you something skeletal. Anybody who has seen? Okay, thank you. These are the minutes of the meeting that we held on 13th April 2025 at Vision Plaza Garden. Members present were the 9 members of the management. We had the 3 members of the supervisory. In attendance, we had our DCO, Mrs. Margaret Como. We also had Mr. Bio, or David of Bio and Associates. We also we had members of staff of our society. Members present were as per the 2025 registration list and the online attendance. Then, members started arriving and registering at 9:30 a.m. The opening prayer was said by Mrs. Lucy Wanjohi, and members were invited to take a cup of tea. As more members arrived and registered and continued taking tea. The morning devotion was given by Mr. Hereri, and he based his sermon on the seed as a form of investment. Then the notice of the AGM. The notice of the AGM was presented to the Treasurer, Mr. Mboro. He took members through the items of agenda that formed the business of the day. The chairman informed the members that the listed items shall form the issues to be discussed and declare the 2025 AGM of Vision Housing Cooperative Society officially on. The Vice Chair introduced members of the board, the supervisory committee, and the staff. Members present were also recognized by their counties. Minutes of the AGM. At this juncture, I would also like to make another correction. The chairman takes us through the items of agenda and then we respond. Silvio, later. What I did, I could pick a response for an agenda and then put it at the right place so that the minutes come out as the way they should be. So you may find it not going as we had planned, but it is going as the official should be. The minutes of the AGM, last AGM, were read by the secretary. Mrs. Grace Ndongo pointed a correction on her name from Grace Gogi. The minutes were then proposed by Massimo Aura, seconded by Michael Gitao, then salient issues on the reports were, he noted that despite low business, there was fair turnover of 48 million in 2024 as compared to 64 million shillings in 2023. On water, we have 2 water projects which are still operational, and Roiro performs better compared to Naivasha with a figure of 660 against Naivasha's 306,000. Naivasha is yet to sustain itself. Both projects experienced and explained water loss. Rental income in Naivasha, we rent container stores, a shop, and rental houses. In Roiro, we rent hall and offices. Both have an income, but below our expectation. We are in the process of building flats in Roiro and cottages in Naivasha, both of which are at an advanced stage of approval. Transportation and vehicle replacement. The business involves taking clients to the land to view their plots, locate or replace their vehicles at a defined fee. So as to offer quality and accurate services, we have acquired surveyor and basic survey equipment. The transport is highly competitive at a highly competitive rate. One is free to use alternative or private means for avoid same purpose. Title deed processing. Here, once a piece of land once we get a piece of land, we process the titles in the name of the society, then the land is then subdivided, and each plot is processed at a fee, and each plot is processed a title deed in the name of the society. Then the title deeds are transferred from the society to the client's name once the owner clears all the deeds. Gardens, these are 2, one in Roiro and another one in Naivasha. The garden at Roiro is operational and its rates are displayed in our office. Hence, one may choose to use the hall alone or the garden alone or both. In Naivasha, the new garden was launched and the charges for the gardens are as follows: 10,000 for a 100-seater tent with chairs and 5,000 for 150-seater tent with chairs. Arrangements for additional tents and chairs can be made at an extra cost. We expect to improve the garden so as to be competitive, market and generate income. Land and plot business. Since inception to date, we have subdivided over 6,000 plots. The current phases were Konza. In 2023, we bought land subdivided into 65 plots at Konza. Plots were sold with 40 are available for stock in the year 2024. There are 38 plots in various phases at Konza on sale, hence 78 plots as Konza stocks. This is at the AGM. Mwalimu Farm. In 2024, we bought a 6-acre piece of land subdivided into 52 plots, selling at 481,000 each with a minimum deposit of 351. 15 plots are remaining in this phase, 28 plots in various phases in the same area. Hence, 43 plots at Mwalimu Farm had not been sold, and are available as stocks. Kidimani, we found a prime land and made a deposit of 1.3 million. On the day we paid the deposit, our surveyor identified an irregularity on the land. We acted swiftly and did a multi-sectoral involvement, and the money was recalled back. We hope to get other phases there. In the case incentive, the BOM proposes that we raise the figure of from 15,000 to 20,000, starting with the next phase, that is 103. Liquidity. To survive in the harsh economic climate in the year 2024, the study turned to selling the old prime stocks and recovering the old debts. Achievement in title deeds. In 2024, we processed title deeds as follows. Oldonyo, that is phase 56D, 83 titles. Oldonyo, phase 90, 24 D titles. Konza 101, 65 titles. This gives a total of 172 titles compared to 271 in the previous year. Challenges of phase 28. We bought a land along with other parties. We have 16 plots yet to be transferred to us, even after many meetings and other stakeholders and frustrations by the concerned lawyer and surveyor. We finally had a tripartite meeting with the vendor, who was cooperative and received our official complaint through a lawyer. He promised to assist us out of this quagmire. Terminal shares. These are shares in phase 94 on Donya's book. We have so far sold 7.7 acre shares against 386 shares. He proposed to alternatively sell the land as a block, then refund the paid up cost of shares, pay interest proportionally, and then retain the balance necessary to raise the cash flow. The person who sells the land shall be paid a commission of 5%, less 5% withholding tax as an incentive. Compulsory land acquisition. In 2024, there was a compulsory land acquisition at Batu, our phase 72, for construction of Weybridge by the government. We have the Gazette notice there of 3rd March 2023. The reimbursement process was completed in December 2024 last year, and the benefit clients were, and the clients that benefited were paid in February this year. It is also good to note that the money that came through the society's account was remitted to the client's respective accounts. Staff. We have a total of 5 staffs, 4 ladies and 1 gentleman, a male casual laborer at Naivasha, and a lady at Roiro. Our surveyor resigned within the year, and we advertised for that position. We plan to train all our staff on QuickBooks accounting. Assets and share capital. Our total assets stand at 192 million, inclusive of the debts owed to the society in form of land balances and interest accrued. Active shareholders are 668, of which 269 have maximum shares. A new member joining the society is expected to pay a minimum of 35,000, registration 5,000, and I repeat, a new member joining the society is expected to pay a minimum of 35,000. That is they are constructing a modern toilet facility, a modern kitchen, and 100-foot long stone perimeter walls. Number 3, construction of cottages at Naivasha Garden, and those are 3 items. The 3rd item is construction of a multi-story residential building, that is flats at phase stages. Future phases, he listed the areas for scouting under subdivision as follows: Konza, Walimu Farm, Juja Farm, and Oldonyo Sabuk. The chairman report was proposed by Madam Esther Wairegi, seconded by Bernadette Moturi, then adopted for discussion. The following were the resolution of 2024 AGM. The proposal that shareholders will join hands and promote Naivasha and Roiro Gardens, and there shall be a 1-day entertainment event at our Naivasha Gardens. This was proposed by Mr. Kibe, seconded by Vision Women Representative, and then accepted as a resolution of the AGM. There was a proposal that Naivasha Garden and the society will construct that wall, kitchen, and modern toilet and improve the lawn, not the lawn. This was proposed by, this was a resolution of the AGM as proposed by Esther Iregi and seconded by Jane Bono. Number 3, the proposal that the charges for Naivasha Garden would be 1,000 shillings for a large group and 5,000 for a small group was proposed by Grace, seconded by Jane, then passed as a resolution of the AGM. it was agreed as a resolution that once a shareholder sells a plot, the incentive shall increase from 15,000 to 20,000, effective from phase 1 or 3, as proposed by Richard Wanjohi, seconded by Alice Motura. And then the following were unanimously passed as resolutions of the AGM. 1, shareholders shall be taking the clients to the ground without any charges for the first visit to a new land. We shall always set aside 2 plots per phase instead of 1 for disposal when need arises. Then the third, that each member shall sell half a plot within the year to realize better performance, and hence we get better dividends. There was an issue on page 94, Oldonyo Sabuk, the proposal that the shareholders to sell Oldonyo Sabuk and pay the seller commission or incentive 5% of a agreed price of the agreed price. The proceeds for phase 94 should be shared as follows: refund the paid up members or cost for shares, and interest on your shares based on the total, which are 396. The balance to be retained by the society to raise funds to cash flow for the business. The proposal was passed upon being proposed by Lucy Kanyo, seconded by Boniface Mungai. The proposal that we have a seminar in our premises to train our staff on how to operate QuickBooks was unanimously accepted. The proposal to raise the maximum shares from 5,000 to 6,500, that is a maximum of 130,000 shillings shares, at the same time retain the minimum shares. They will also declare the dividends for 2024 at a rate of 12%. These 2 proposals were passed and were proposed by Gerald Regi, seconded by Geoffrey Njoroge, then passed as a resolution of the AGM. Number 8, the proposal to pay the transport cost at 1,000 to any member present and a large equivalent to 500 or 500 shillings data bundles reimbursed for members' online attendance was accepted on proposed by Harun Muturi, seconded by Richard Kadiro. The proposal for power to borrow to be retained at 5 million was proposed by Simon Aranja, seconded by Fresia Waithira. The good and well presented report that was well explained and suggested that we should have an item of accounting in the education day. Another member appreciated the auditor for his clarity in citing the relevant items. He had so suggested we incorporate members in the QuickBook staff training. The proposed dividend at 12% was proposed by George Moturi, seconded by Hannah Getui, then adopted by the members. Training of staff on QuickBooks was proposed by Miriam Gekoe, seconded by David Konodia, then accepted as members by the members. We go to the treasurer's report after I sip some water. Thank you. At least you have also raised your necks. The minutes, the treasurer's report. The report was presented by our Honorable Treasurer, Mr. George Karanja Mboro, and itemized as follows. Number 1 was on plots. In 2024, we had 159 plots as stocks from 2023. We then bought 1 parcel of land, phase 101, which gave us 65 plots, and hence we had 2024 plots to sell during the year. And the plots were sold as follows. In 2023, we sold 107 plots and made a dividend of 10%. In 2024, we sold 83 plots and had a dividend of 12%. In 2023, we sold 107 plots. Compared to 83, there was a drop of 22%, 22.7%. Naivasha project. We have the following projects: water, rentals, houses, container stores, and ground for hire. So in that year, the income was 740,000. The expenditure was 1.17. In 2024, the income was 512 and expenditure of 720. Both had a negative of 430 and 277 respectively. Rail water. In 2023, the income was 799,000. The income 2024 was 666,000. Expenditure 2023, let me do it the other way. In 2023, the income was 799, expenditure 317, a difference of positive 481. In 2024, the income was 666, expenditure 2024, a difference of 421. We move to Vision Plaza. At the Vision Plaza, we have the following: hall, rental offices, and grounds for hire. 2024 income 890, expenditure 278, a positive difference of 611. 2024 income 903, expenditure 380, difference 523. Then he also gave us the society's growth as by 30th September 2024. Growth in shares, in 2024 we had a share capital of 48 million as compared to 2023 a share capital of 47 million. This was an increase of 278,000, interpreted as 0.006% growth. Shareholders' equity. The turnover for the year 2024 was 47 million. The profit before tax was 7 million, 7.7. After taxation, the balance is 6.1 million, to be shared at a rate of 12% of shares held, less 5% withholding tax. He also took us through various processes of conveyancing that end up in producing different title deeds. Initially, the Land Registration Act of Chapter 300, which was revealed, the final document was the title deed. Today, the final document is a certificate of title. In the Registration of Land Act, the final document is the conveyancing process is a certificate of lease, lease document, or certificate of title with a lease or a deed plan issued at earliest. Among the important accuracy details to check for your land are title number or LR number, name of owner, ID, area in hectares, registry mark sheet number, and government title deed. So there was a short seminar on title deeds. Minute 7, budget for 2026. The projected estimates were presented by our treasurer, with both income and expenditure totaled at 25 million. He observed that there were several adjustments on expenditures from and he took members through the document as he pointed out on the affected items. Adopted as a document for implementation. The chairman invited the DCO, Mrs. Como, to take members through this. Richard was proposed by Florence, seconded by Alan, then re-elected into the BOM. Fred was proposed by Michael, seconded by Lydia, then re-elected into the BOM. Irene was proposed by Mr. Moreira, seconded by Mr. Waroi, then re-elected into the BOM. In the supervisory committee, Kehoyo Makomi was proposed by Peter, seconded by another Peter, then re-elected into the supervisory committee. The sub-county cooperative officer noted that the faith and trust in the four, along with other members, had been expressed during the election for continuous performance of the site. He congratulated the four and asked them to reciprocate to the members' fees through quality service. Minute 9 AOB. The treasurer explained that the payment of 1,500 would be paid by M-Pesa, and the sale would commence immediately. The secretary stated that the policy document would be posted on their website, and the nominee form would be prepared and filled online or downloaded, then filled and delivered. Makueni Machakos, this issue concerning our cons faces will be followed up by the BOM. Minute 10, adjournment. The vote of thanks were passed by Mr. Jeroge Godfrey, while the closing prayer was said by Mr. Njoni. There being no other business, the chairman, Mr. Peter Maura Gikonyo, declared the 2025 AGM of Vision Housing Society officially over. Thank you. At least a small clap, just round.
Thank you very much, our Honorable Secretary, for reading through what we went through during our last AGM and expressing all the areas that we touched. I would wish to request the members that we adopt this document by proposing and seconding. And you have a proposer. And when you propose, give us your vision number if you can remember it.
Number 657, I propose.
657, I propose.
657, name?
Grace Domo.
Thank you, Grace. A seconder?
Michael Getao, 248, I second.
Michael Gitao, number 248. Yes, seconded. I'd like you to note somewhere if you have any question on the minutes, and we shall continue like that with all the documents that we are having, and then in the final end we shall have questions from the different documents that we have. At this particular time, I wish to call our chairman.
I want to draw your attention to the booklet that we have given you. The cover page and page 1 are blank. The purpose is for anything that Madam says that you can note. We didn't give you booklets.
Welcome, our chairman.
Good afternoon. I want to say I'm happy that the PA man, Mr. Kemani, Mr. Bogwa, has arrived. And when I look at him, he will be a better year in terms of business. The society cannot be driven by the BOM alone, and we are therefore appealing to you and all the shareholders to play their role actively in order to foster our society to greater heights. As I stand here in front of you, I can comfortably assure you that your business is not badly off. A turnover of about 42 million was realized compared to 47 million in the year 2024. In 2025, the active members were 673 compared to 669 members in the year 2024. If you look at those numbers, 673 and 669, they are very close. They are very close, meaning we are not doing well in terms of increasing the number of members in our society, or the number of shareholders in the society. Our dormant members for the year, our dormant members for the year were 141 compared to 143 in the year 2024. Again, that is better, but you cannot say it is good. Because 141 and 143, there is only a difference of 2. Let me take this opportunity to welcome the new shareholders to our society and also urge all the shareholders to work harder and recruit more shareholders in the year 2026, and if possible, the younger generation. As much as we would like the society to belong to the teachers only, there is need to open the common board. A solid role to our clients, and in this way, we can be the best company society in the country and beyond. Kindly remember, service to people is service to God. When you meet our clients, please inform them that the society promises them that the society shall always embrace professionalism and integrity at all times, ensure equity and fairness to everyone, take criticism positively, provide room for suggestions, provide a discreet and effective delivery of service in a timely manner. On the other hand, in order to achieve the desired goals, the DOM proposes that we have more qualified on your plans to the run, and life would be cheaper for the society. It is also important for all the staff to know the location of the land that is being sold at any particular moment and any other logistics involved in the selling of the society's product. I have fully convinced that with the vibrant staff, our products will move very fast, which will make the work of BOM easy and concentrate on combination of policy, directing supervision of the society's operation as directed by our bylaw. That means I don't need to come to the office on daily basis or regularly, because all the time I know the people in the office are able to handle all the activities that are involved, particularly the activities pertaining to land, because land is our main business. Currently, we have 5 staff members, and they are not enough. Of the staff members, 4 are at Wero office, and 1 is Naivasha. In terms of gender, we have 4 ladies and 1 gentleman. It is important to note that the BOM advertised for a market last year, and 3 candidates were shortlisted. However, on the date of the interview, none of the shortlisted candidates turned up. You can see the challenge we are facing. There are no jobs, you advertise, they agree to come, but they don't come for the interviews. So a lot of questions are left unanswered. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to point out that this project, that's the project, is strategically placed for business purposes. The BOM requests that you give them a little more time because the future of Naivasha is still bright. And those who are here from Naivasha, they can maybe tell us if it is otherwise. We have 2 challenges at Naivasha, which the BOM feel they can be fixed. First of all, we need a full-time manager who can manage the project. And secondly, we need to come up with a proper and effective harvesting, distribution, and water management. In most cases, when the monthly income and the expenditure is compared, there is always a deficit, which the BOM is caused by the sale of water. It is somehow sensitive, but if things don't work well, the BOM recommends that Naivasha water be used for supplementary use, and if any water is to be sold, it can be done from the kiosk. The question that arises is how to deal with the issue, because this is an issue affecting quite a number of people who are clients, and the water shortage in the area complicates matter. This is an issue that needs to be approached with a lot of care and sobriety. The BOM is therefore proposing that the society organizes a meeting with the stakeholders and clients so that we can discuss the challenge with them and come up with a solution. Once this activity kicks off, the office will keep the members updated. I hope that one is very clear, that we have a challenge with the income there, but I'm urging the shareholders not to lose hope, because for me, but I don't know whether it's the way I've created it, if I get a deficit, I don't stop at that. I take it as a learning lesson. I have got a deficit, then what can I do to absorb this deficit? Like now, down there, I can see I've written that we have realized 7.5 million. That is going to be shared as the dividend, close to 7.5 million. Then when you go to Naivasha, you find there's a deficit of 500,000. So the issue is, instead of running away from the problem, you can use the 7.5 or 8 or 9 to absorb the 500,000, which is on the other hand. And that way, life will continue without interfering with the ecosystem in that particular area. There are some projects that are still pending in Naivasha, such as the construction of a simple but modern toilet, a simple kitchen, and a gate of about 150-meter wall. We are talking of 100 meters, but when you look at it, it might need an extra 50 meters. The garden is ready for use, and we have started getting the clients, which according to the BOM, the garden will peak and become an income-generating project. In order to ensure that the garden operates independently, the BOM has come up with a separate budget and they have to provide resources to finance the project. To begin with, there is a plot of size 40 by 80 feet on the 29 Drive, and if sold, the proceeds will be enough to finance the projects there. Ladies and gentlemen, when this time comes, I'm pleading the BOM to borrow from the businessmen in our country who lease compounds and convert them to very lucrative and attractive joints without a lot of expenses. To mention but a few, a wall like we have on my left, on my right, yes, that wall can be plastered, then the shade where we are taking the tea, it can be improved to a office or a hall, which can be used and become an income-generating activity. That way you don't spend a lot of money because you need to improve the sites and of course the background there. To mention but a few, a wall can be used to become a shade, then the shade be converted to a hall where people can hold meetings. And that way you have not interfered with whatever will be constructed in the future, because what you have invested there would be a reasonable amount of money. When the project, ladies and gentlemen, there is a residential house that was built at Loilo in phase 12. The approval process is gone with about one stage remaining. Within the year, the BOM will discuss the construction with the engineers so that they can do their calculations and come up with a bill of quantities. The bill of quantities, the project will be clear now, the BOM, and decisions can be made easily, stage after the other. For instance, if we need $1 million, we shall go to the BQ and find out what can be done by 1 million. And that way, we continue slowly by slowly. For instance, if you want to do the excavation, followed by 1 or 2 floors to begin with, the BOM can tell whether the surface financial capacity can support and finish what has been planned at any particular stage. Ladies and gentlemen, the money involved in this project is huge, but with the proper planning, any project can be completed. As we continue sourcing funds for this project from our businesses, the BOM is appealing to the shareholders to hasten the process of selling our product so that the money obtained from the project after paying the terminal shares and the 5% brokerage fee can be directed to this project as we agreed during the last AGM. Promotion and marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, our main business is selling of products to ourselves and our clients within the country and in abroad. On your behalf, let me take this opportunity to thank all those shareholders who managed to buy or sell one or more products within the year. I didn't know that it is the effort that has made us get this far. We managed to sell 7 products in the year 2005 compared to 24 products in the year 2024. Again, if you look at that, the figures are not, they're still close in terms of sales. Our target last year was 30 products per month, which expectation we did not manage. This year, we have lowered the monthly target to 25 products per month, which the BOM hopes will be manageable and dependent on individual efforts. When we talk of the individual efforts, we are talking about the 700 shareholders. because sometimes we come for the AGM, and when we talk of selling, all the eyes looks at the board of management. We are talking of all of us who are in this compound, those who are not here, our relatives and friends. So let us try to work harder so that we see whether we can hit that target without getting tired. Because if you get tired, what are we going to do? And this is not the end of our lives or the end of the society. The society, we needed to go to more than 1,000 years from today. This translates to 300 months in the year, which can be achieved if you all can actively participate in saving. The incentive rate is still there at 20,000 per plot, as was agreed in 2025, and the BOM is promising you that your sales record will be kept safely in our books and that none of your coin will get lost. In case there's a pending issue, kindly see your manager before you leave here today. Our society's core business is run through property selling and revolves around identification of prime land, conveyancing, surveying, title deed process, marketing, and keeping the records. Other businesses are there to support the main business. However, it is not advisable to do without the other small business, such as selling the water, rent, and the garden. I would like the people at the Naivasha to hear, the shareholders. We are complaining, but we don't want to do away with it. And it is their responsibility as the ambassadors there to make sure the business there works. If you don't show the interest in the garden, those who are at Naivasha, then the villagers will not take interest. If you don't promote, the villagers will not know whether we have a garden there or not. If you don't promote, people will not take us seriously. And that way, the risks will start coming up. Like we have seen, we have a challenge with the water. So the shareholders at Naivasha, make sure, even that plot, the saying, it needs to be sold. Try as much as you can and sell it as if you are selling your property so that you get that money, we develop the remaining parts, then the business becomes attractive, and you see people will come from far and wide. And in the future, maybe other things can come in. You can see where we are. This compound, it is good. People are coming. They have the hall. They enjoy. People here around here, they have owned this compound. In fact, sometimes I come, and when I find people, they don't even know whether I'm the chairman or not. So I just call myself and get out, because people have owned the project, and that is what we want to see at Naivasha. And don't get tired, because if those people who started this one got tired, then we will not be seated here. It is through sacrifice. And of course, at one time, God will remember you for the sacrifice you offered to the children of God. There's a lot of hope in the future, which means we need to concentrate our energy on the main business so that we can realize more profit and equip ourselves so that in the event one of the smaller businesses go down, the large business can support the others and vice versa as we wait for tomorrow. That one is telling us, whatever you are doing, don't focus on yourself. Don't focus on yourself, focus on the future. Because the future is coming. And the future is your children. The future is your neighbor's children. The future is the people from Nairobi who will come to enjoy the facilities at your place. So don't just focus on the future, look ahead and market that particular area. The BOM is therefore proposing that when it comes to borrowing our staff in the future, we focus on the areas mentioned above, which will promote our business and show us to greater heights. That one means, if possible, and if God helps us, we need to come up with a staff, a vibrant staff, a staff who can be sent to maybe Nyeri. So the person goes to Nyeri, or Nyeri, is this Nyeri? Okay, whatever. Now, when that person goes there, the person will be able to identify a project which can be done, informs the management, then the management visits the project, they see it can be done, they provide their energy there, then leave it to that particular member of staff. Then the staff can maybe move the project forward. And if you look at other companies, those are, we keep on talking about. If they keep it, so to mention that, without hurting anybody, you look at it, it started from the very low levels, and now you can see where it is. Because those who started the business, they had a focus and they were patient. They continued making the losses slowly by slowly, and at one time they started gaining, and now they are floating. So that is the kind of an institution we need to build at Vision. Otherwise, if you don't do that, we shall only keep on saying we have the person has been the chairman at Vision for maybe 90 years. And the things cannot be done, cannot be seen, which were started within those years. I'm appealing to you to not let me down. Let us employ our energy to our projects and work hard. The BOM is therefore proposing that when it comes to employing our staff in the future, we focus on the areas mentioned above, which will promote our business and take us to greater heights. Achievements, ladies and gentlemen, the BOM managed to process the title deeds in the year 2025 as follows. For the book, we have 25, that is phase 56 stage, Utah Farm 43, Consa 52, which gives a total of 120 title deeds compared to 172 title deeds in the previous year. In our book, there's a piece of land commonly known as phase 56H, the one you have produced the title deed, and sometimes you call it the start phase. This land was about 6 acres, which was subdivided into 25 quotas. A dispute cropped up between Vision Housing and 3 sons of a relative of the vendor of the land who later passed on. The BOM reported to the HGM and then transferred our staff and other buyers to Consa phase 49U. The BOM started the dispute resolution process with the area leaders, and the issue was resolved last year. Ladies and gentlemen, as I stand before you, we won this case, but in the process, we lost 3/8 of an acre, which is equivalent to 6% of the total area of the land. The remaining plots were all sold, and we now have a good relationship with the family and the neighbors. Phase 28, ladies and gentlemen, this land still possesses a challenge. It poses a challenge because we have not yet delivered the title deeds. The BOM is currently following up on this issue, and we are promising our clients that we shall do whatever is practically possible to see to it that you receive your title deeds as soon as possible. Our supervisor will open our group in the course of the week so that we keep you updated. That is the people who own that particular parcel of land. Land excavation, ladies and gentlemen, there is one parcel of land at the local area which was excavated by illegal miners. This is phase 63, Naivasha. The effort by the BOM to try to bring this group together through WhatsApp group so that we could agree on the way forward was in vain. It is hurting when our clients go to the RAD to view their plots, only to be met by heaps of soil and cannot trace their beacons. There comes a time when one has to take the responsibility. We may need to part with this group, but by the look of things, the society is merging the loser in terms of business. Let me take this opportunity to inform this meeting and your clients that the BOM, with your permission, will look into this problem conclusively. Ladies and gentlemen, that is on assets and shareholding. Ladies and gentlemen, currently our total assets stands at 187 million. This money is inclusive of the debts our clients owe the society in form of bank balances and the interest accrued. The BOM is appealing to you to try as much as you can to clear these debts so that the BOM can invest on more land without going for the loans option, and that way our business will expand. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to report to you that since last AGM, we lost 2 of our members and 3 other members lost their loved ones. With your permission, ladies and gentlemen, I request you to stand up. You will have a minute of silence. Let's get seated. May their souls rest in eternal peace. The members affected, the deceased, we have Janet Oyera and Isaac Oyaki Monua. Then those who lost their next of kins, we have Sarah Wajiro Mugai, Village of Kamal, and Gladys Oyera Chega. If there is anybody else we have forgotten, maybe the information did not reach the office in time. Kindly note that the number of the active shareholders is 668. Out of these, 269 members have attained the maximum limit in terms of shares. Currently, the maximum shares are 6,500, while minimum shares are 1,500. With your permission, ladies and gentlemen, the BOM wish you success. Dividend, ladies and gentlemen, the Board of Management would like to thank those of you who actually sold plots in one way or the other. Out of your effort, the Board of Management has set aside about shillings 7.5 million as proposed dividend for the year 2025. Once discussed and approved, the dividend will be calculated at a rate of 13% compared to the previous year, which was 12%. Again, if you look at the figures, they are very close. And if you can work harder, again, it has no limit. It can still move upward. This is an improvement compared to last year. This figure can be improved. This year can be improved if the shareholders can become more aggressive in terms of marketing the society's product. In a special way, the BOM on your behalf would also like to thank all our shareholders and clients in the diaspora because they are marketing our society in a bigger way. To those shareholders in the diaspora, I would like to assure you that your interests are always safeguarded and request you to continue supporting our society and our country. Ladies and gentlemen, as we have done in the past, dividend money will be transferred to your bank account, raise 1,200 for the welfare and 5% withholding tax. However, the transport of Kenya shillings 1,000 per person and the lunch equivalent to 500 will be sent to you. Will be sent to your phone by the end of this meeting. So what we have taken is a snack. The lunch you take on your way home. Our meeting is also live streamed, and for those who attend the meeting online, the online, you will receive Kenya 500 for data bundles. Those members attending the online meeting are requested to register online before the meeting ends and not after the meeting. Sometimes we finish the business, then we get people claiming the money, and it's a bit tedious. So kindly, if you are online, we are together. If you have a question, you can ask us, and we shall respond to the questions. But it is difficult for us to compensate when you come in after the meeting. So those who are trying to get into our system, kindly hurry up. In the event anyone experiences a challenge while logging in, they should communicate to our office, and their concerns will be attended to. For those present today, please make sure that the mobile numbers you used to register as we came in has no debts elsewhere. The welfare fund. With your permission, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to report to you that the welfare kitty had about Kenya shillings 635,000 by the beginning of the year 2025. We have 672 active members, and therefore, this year's contribution of 1,200 per active shareholder will amount to 807,600. The beneficiary of this kitty includes the senior citizens, that is age 50 and above, 70 and above, persons admitted to hospitals within the year, and donations. From this kitty, a total of 720,000 was spent in 2025. Again, if you look at the figures, you expect 807, you will spend 700. And when you look at that figure, the balance is about 90,000. And that means something needs to be done so that we can improve this kitty in the future. So what will be left is about 10%. 10% of the total contribution. The BOM is appealing to those of you who have relatives in offices where more money can be sourced to contact the society for guidance so that this kitty can be improved. In this way, the kitty will serve the shareholders widely and better. Remember, today you might be 50 years old, but in the next 10 or 20 years, you may require some assistance for this kitty, hence the need to strengthen the kitty. The budget, the debt, and the total account. Ladies and gentlemen, the budget for the year 2027 is ready and will be presented to you by the Treasurer for discussions and adoption. Like I pointed out earlier, the target on sales has been made lighter, and I hope that you will not let the new aim down. Where anything is not clear to you, kindly ask so that it is clarified before we pass the budget. With your permission, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to point out that this is a proposed budget, and you are free to adjust it where the need arises. The final document is what or what you agree on. On the other hand, the audited accounts for the year 2025 shall be presented to you by our auditors, Biomo Hair, and the associates. After they are presented, kindly feel free to ask any question for clarifications. Elections. By law, about 160A and B give us the guidelines on how the election needs to be conducted. Or by law, number 27, F and K gives you the power to conduct the elections. Once we get to this agenda, the sub-county cooperative officer will chair the session. The following members are expected to retire but eligible for re-election. One of them is calling himself Peter Mohola Likoni, the man standing with the microphone. Then we have Mary Ageshmarano and Eunice Mohola Likoni. The Supervisory Committee, we have Beatrice Narado Kamal. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to take this opportunity to congratulate those leaders who will be elected or re-elected in advance. As we join the other leaders, we urge you to give the best service to the society, the shareholders and our clients. To give the best service is to allow your good ideas flow freely in all the meetings and discussions that touch on the society, kindly documented or not. When it is not your idea, don't disagree when the ship has taken off. So give your best, and that is the best you can do to our society, to your society, and also to the shareholders and the country. Power to borrow, ladies and gentlemen, the power to borrow for society is finishing 5 million. The Board of Management proposes that we retain this power to borrow at finishing 5 million. However, we have never used this facility. The society has invested some shares at the Visual Circle, which was about 860,000 by the end of last year. I did note that this is an investment which will be called back if an emergency arises. With the project, ladies and gentlemen, listed below are the projects we will focus on during the year based on the availability of funds. These are not new ideas. We are only carrying the ideas forward because of the lack of availability of funds, but at one time we shall make it. Improve the commercial garden by constructing a simple but modern toilet facilities, construct a stone wall of about 150 feet, construct a simple kitchen, construct of a 6-story residential front, and phase 12 in stages. And if you are blessed further than that, you think of the issue of the cottages. Future phases, with your permission, ladies and gentlemen, the bill and proposes we continue with Rance County and subdivision in the following areas, that is Konza, Mwalimu Farm, and any other area that may be identified and we see, or from our discussions, we realize we can make business. Even a shareholder can come up with an area or a parcel of land, and after visiting it, we can tell whether you make money or not. If we find it is profitable to the society, we can proceed and buy and do the business. Conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude my speech, allow me on your behalf to sincerely thank our God for the love He has for our society, giving us wisdom, guidance, and protection throughout the year. The shareholders for the trust you have bestowed on us, your active participation in our business, and availing yourselves for meeting once called upon, like today. You know the arrangements, but you agreed to come. And of course, those who are online, you are included there. The BOM for sacrificing your time in both committee meetings and monthly meetings, which are mainly done on Sundays. With your active participation in this meeting, your active participation in these meetings will aid the vision housing business. The sub-county cooperative officer for the high-level professionalism and guidance in your supervision. Our staff, your harmonious commitment to duty and service delivery. Our families, for giving us a peaceful environment in our homes, which quietly forge the success of the society. Last but not least, may I take this opportunity to wish you and your families a happy Easter holiday and a prosperous year 2026. May God bless you all. Thank you.
It is not easy to go through that document, but I know he can almost read it from his mind, because what he's talking about is what he has gone through out the year with our society. Thank you very much, our chairman, and thank you for enlightening us on what the society went through the year 2025. I would request that we get 2 members to propose the document and second. There is a member at the back there. Somebody to give the mic. Or I give mine. Alice Kamwegi proposed. Thank you, Alice. 742, Alice Kamwenji. Seconder.
Rosemary Wairimu, 519, I second.
Thank you, Rosemary, for seconding. Rosemary Wairimu, 519. And thank you. We make sure we note if there is any question, any comment, any correction on that document. And there is somewhere where there was minus. Minus means it's not minor for the miner, it is minor for E. People mining some soil from our land in Naivasha. There was a correction there. Then we can continue to the next good document, which is the group that supervises the work the Board of Management does, and that is the supervisory group. Karibu, Chair Lady Supervisory.
Thank you, Madam Mararo. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to go through the supervisory committee report for this AGM. The sub-county cooperative officer, the chairman, Vision Housing Cooperative Society, the supervisory committee members, our members, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is my great pleasure to be in your midst and be before you as the chairperson of the supervisory committee this wonderful afternoon. I wish to start by thanking our Almighty God for taking us through 2025 and bringing us safely into 2026. For our lives today, that of our family members, and also for the continuity of this society, we give all the glory and honor to God. As we prayed through the year, land was sold in some phases, title deeds were issued as usual, and utility services were offered to our customers. We continued to perform our mandate of perusing the books and giving reports of our findings to the Board of Management on a quarter yearly basis as expected. This we did within the society bylaws, the previous AGM resolutions. I can confidently report to you today that the year was tough, but Vision Housing did our usual business of selling land and also providing services to our clients. As it is the culture of our management, integrity, transparency and accountability, and also the fear of God guided the committee members. Business conducted in the year was also guided by the Co-Operative Act, our bylaws, the ministry regulations, and also the AGM resolutions. Activities that were carried out in the year ended include sale of land at Mwalimu Phase 102, Konza Phase 101, and Odonyo Sabuk Phase 56H. More marketing is required because we expected to sell more than we did. The promotion team needs to do more to attract buyers, especially for Mwalimu Farm and Konza. Title deed processing continued. Naivasha Palm Garden was established through landscaping and is now in use. An appeal for all of us to promote this new product and diversify our business. Water supply at Ruiro and Naivasha continued. Vision Plaza is still being hired, and welfare issues of our members are also being addressed. Plans for the construction of an apartment here at Ruiro are at an advanced stage. Conclusion, Vision continues to invite teachers, their relatives and friends at the moment who are teachers to join Vision and enjoy the good proceeds, the proceeds of good business, own land and consume healthy utilities at affordable rates. We encourage all of us to continue praying for economic stability and for Vision Housing to remain afloat in the future. Thank you, and God bless Kenya, and God bless Vision. Vision, thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Chair Lady, Supervisory. And again, we get a group to, two people to propose and second the document. There is a hand already at the back there.
Wairegi Kama, I propose.
Thank you, Mr. Wairegi. Number 582 for proposing a seconder. There is a seconder here. Oh, okay.
Jane Boro, member number 82, I second.
Thank you, Jane Boro. Number 82. She has seconded the document. And now we continue with our next document, which is the auditor's report. And we have our auditors. They are going to introduce themselves and also give us the audit report. Karibuni.
Thank you, the Vice Chairperson, the Sub-County Cooperative Officer, the Chairman and the Board of Management, the Supervisory Committee, members of Vision Housing Cooperative, good afternoon. Hamjambo. My name is Joshua Meru. I work with Bio Mohe and Associates, and with me I have my colleague, please be upstanding. Her name is Grace Wanjiko. She was the lead auditor for this engagement. For once again, we are here for us to view our financial performance for the year ended 31st December 2025. And we would like to confirm that we went ahead with our audit as the external auditors reviewed the finance. Of all, skip that one. It is the last item that I'm going to present. We can go to page number 7. And that is where the financial starts with the statement of comprehensive income. We are going to do a high-level presentation, and members, I hope we all have the copies that will be able to listen. In this statement, we are going to present our income as a society. We're going to present our income as a society for the year 2025, and of course, that income. We have the expenditure, and by the end of the day, if the incomes are higher than the expenses, then Co-Operative, we have made a surplus. And from that surplus, that is where the Board of Management normally declares the dividends. So we can check out the numbers when it comes to that statement. Starting from our core activity, thank you. Starting with our income for the year, we were able to generate 42 million compared to last year where we had 47.7 million. That is presented by 39 million in the sale of land, and we have other income. Just the chairperson has communicated, we have other income generating activity that were able to give us expenses of 5 million. We have the governance expenses. These are expenses relating to the members and also the Board of Management. We incurred 3.5 million. And lastly, we have the financial expenses. Basically, these are the bank charges. As we continue to transact with our bank accounts. So if you aggregate all our expenses for the year 2025, we incurred 22.6 million, which has reduced from what we had in the previous year of 27.2 million. From the income, the gross profit we had of 33.5, you less the expenses of 22.6 million, our surplus before tax, that is the profits, was 10.8 million. Last year we had 9.7 million. So we can see we had a growth there of around 1 million, which is 11%. After we get that profit, of course, we must pay something to KRA. And the income tax expense for this year is 1.5 million. Already we have done some payments there because as guided by the regulations for the Income Tax Act, is that we are supposed to pay this tax in installments before the financial year ends. And I can confirm that this tax was already paid by the end of that financial year. And in addition to that, we had an overpayment, which we are going to see. Our surplus after the tax was 9.3 million. So we made our income, we incurred expenses, and we made a surplus of 10.8 million. From the 10.8 million, we have paid a tax of 1.5 million, and we are left with 9.3. From the 9.3, in accordance with the Co-Operative Act, we must set aside 20% that goes to the statutory reserve. And the amount that we have set aside as a cooperative, as a society that year was 1.8 million. Last year we set aside 1.5 because we made a lower surplus after the tax. Our net surplus to the retained earnings is 7.4 million. Last year we had 6.1 million. So we have improved in that regard by 1.2 million, which translates to 21%. You may ask yourself, this 7 million inaenda wapi? Chairman has indicated in the chairman's report that we have proposed a dividend of 13%, amounting to 6.4 million. So from the 7.4 million, once you less 6.4 million, that is the proposed dividend, our retained earnings for that year will be 993,000. And it is good to point out that in the year 2024, we proposed a dividend of 5.7 million, which was at a rate of 12%. And this year, the board is proposing 6.4 million at a rate of 19%. And the reason it has gone up is because even though our sales have gone down, we have been able to manage our expenses because they relate to the sales that we have, and we had a higher surplus in that financial year, and we were able to distribute more. So members note that because they will come as a resolution for you to ratify. Point number 8. We have the statement of financial position. Na hii ndio inaonyeshiria the value of our society by the end of 31st December 2025, which communicates our total assets. By the end of that year, our total assets was 197.3 million compared to 192.3 million in the year 2024. So our asset base has grown by 5 million. That translates to around 3%. Where do we have these assets in? We have the distribution there, and I'm going to highlight the key assets. Number one, we have the cash and investments. So this was the amount of money that we had in our banks and the various investment accounts, amounting to 2.2 million in bank and 7.9 in investments. And an auditor will go a step further and confirm whether indeed this money was there, and we can confidently say that we got the confirmation, and this was the amount of money that we had by that financial year. Number two, we have the inventory, a key asset. Since this is the value of land that we had not sold by the end of that year, amounting to 47.5 million. Again, we normally confirm the existence of this land. We confirm the title deeds, and we can say that this was what we had by the end of that financial year. Another key asset there that forms our key audit matter is the trade receivables and prepayments of 50 million. But I am going to come back to that. Those are the debts owed to the society by the members. And another asset there is the property, plant and equipment. These are the assets that we hold in lands, buildings, computers in the office, the furniture. The valuation of that was 89.6 million. So our total assets was 197.3 million. How do we finance these assets? Number one, we have the liabilities amounting to 17.2 million. The key there is the trade payables, where the members' deposit come in of 9.4 million. We have the proposed dividends. We have said we have proposed dividends of 6.4 million. However, by the end of the financial year, there were some members who had not collected their dividends. That's why you can see that figure is a bit higher than what we had proposed. And I would add something here. The chairman talked about the dormant accounts, and according to regulation, the Unclaimed Financial Assets Authority, if you continue to hold any amounts to a member who has not transacted with the accounts, in the case of dividends is 3 years, and in the case of deposits is 5 years. If that member is not transacting with the account, then the society may be mandated to take that money to UFA. So I really urge the members, those who are dormant, kindly regularize your accounts so that we don't have that risk within the cooperative. So activate your accounts, continue to patronize the society's products. Something else key to note there is the income tax payable. It is a negative of 530, as I mentioned earlier. From the income tax that we have to pay to KRA, we had already made those payments before the financial year end, and we had already paid over and above by 530,000. So this is a credit that will be utilized in this current financial year. And we are continuing to give advice to the management and the staff when it comes to tax planning on ways how we can be able to reduce our taxation, and of course legally. Here we are not talking about evading tax, we are talking of avoiding tax through the legal avenues that we are provided by KRA. That's why even this year our tax burden has gone down compared to the year 2024. And tax is very dynamic, it keeps on changing, and we are continually advising the management on that. Our welfare fund, 635, that was the balance by the end of the financial year. Lastly, we have the shareholders funds presented by the share capital. This is an area that has been talked about. By the end of that year, our share capital was 49.8 million. However, there are some members who have not attained the minimum shares, and we really urge you to continue making those contributions because from the share capital, ndio tunaita the value of the society as a society, as an institution. So we urge you to continue building your share capital, and we'd like to thank those who are able to do the contribution in the year 2025 because we have seen an improvement in that year. Secondly, we have the statutory reserve. As I told you, from our profits, according to the law, we must set aside 20%. And from the time we started giving that reserve and setting aside that reserve, we have accumulated 41.4 million. And this will continue as long as our society is making a profit. Lastly, we have the retained earnings. This comes after we distribute the dividends. Whatever is left is what we call the retained earnings. And that year, we have accumulated a retained earnings of 88.7 million compared to 57.7 million. So we have been able to build by 993,000. So our total shareholders' funds and liabilities is equivalent to our assets of 197.3. That is the two primary statements of our accounts. So all the other items that I'm going to highlight from there on are just explanatory statements and notes to what I have already read. In page number 9, we can proceed to page number 9. That is an explanation and further information on the shareholders' funds in share capital, statutory reserve, and the retained earnings. A few things that I would like to mention there. The first column is on the share capital. At the top, we have your performance for the year 2024, where we started the year with 47.9 million. Those who are able to subscribe to the shares amounted to 278,000. And we closed that year with 48.1 million. In the year 2025 alone, we have been able to subscribe to 1.6 million. So if we do a comparison there, last year we purchased shares of 278. 2025 we purchased 1.6 million. So I would like to commend the members for those who have brought their shares to the minimum amount that we have been given by the chair, and for those who have not, kindly do so, because this is building the value of the society. The second column is on the statutory reserve. That is already mentioned that this year we have been able to build that reserve by 1.8 million. Lastly, we have the retained earnings. In the start of the year, where we have 2025, we can see we made a surplus of 9.3 million. We transferred 1.8 million to the statutory reserve. We have already read that. The key issue there is the proposed dividends. I have mentioned that today we are going to be paid back on your shares of 6.4 million at a rate of 13%. So there we have done very well in regards to our profit. That's why we have been able to distribute the 6.4 million. And again, what we normally say is that if we compare the rate of return that we are being given by the society versus what the market is giving, just do a small comparison. And you realize that whatever the society is giving you this year, there is no market there unless they are the special funds. Other normal investments cannot be able to cover the 6.4 million and 13%. So they have done very well. You have done very well, members, for reaching the 13%. So what I would challenge you, members, is that going to this year, let us continue to patronize the products for us to sustain that 13%. Because I know next year. Thank you. Members, please continue to patronize the society's products, bring in more members, and also the suggestion done by the chair to open the common bond. Please consider that, because it is a way of us getting more members, and with more members we are able to sell more, we are able to generate more income, and also dispose more. So for us to maintain that 13%, I know there is some work that needs to be done. Let us go to the next page, page number 10. Kindly skip that. That is the cash flow statements. which just communicates how our money came in and out during that financial year. And we are happy to note that our cash flow was better in the year 2025 compared to the year 2024, based on the balance of the cash that we had in the bank and the investments that we had in that year. Page number 12, we have the breakdown of our income and expenses, and this is just the explanatory notes of what we have already read. For our revenue or income, you can see the distribution there from the sale of land, the transfer fees, and the title, which gave us 39 million. Other incomes, we can see the office income, you can see the whole higher income, the rental income of 327, you can see the interest income of 117. Out of the investments that we have been able to generate an interest of 117, and that is on a positive note, because as auditors we normally verify. When you are saying that you're investing your money, are you getting any return? And we can compare, we're able to get a return. And lastly, we have the water sales there of 1 million, which leads to a total of 2.9 million of the other income. We have the cost of sales. This is the cost of land that was sold. We started the year with a balance of 44.7. We acquired 11 million, and then we are left with a balance of 47.5. So this communicates that we still have more units to sell to our members. Let us continue to market our products so that we are able to realize more income from the stock that we have. Number 4, note number 4, we have the direct cost relating to the sale of land. You can see there the physical planning all the way to the land transfer charges, 5.7 million, which gave us a total of 11.6 million. Again, we normally verify these expenses, whether they are properly approved, whether they have the relevant supporting documents, and we had no issue with that. Page number 13, we have the continuation of the breakdown of expenses, the personnel expenses, 2.4 million. You can see the salaries there, the respective housing levy that we must pay to KRA and the government, NSSF, they are all there. We can confirm that the society is compliant when it comes to the statutory deductions. Administrative expenses amounting to 5 million. You can see also the distribution there. Perhaps the key notable expenses there, we have the depreciation of 1.1 million. So according to the rules that govern presentation of accounts, when you hold an asset and as you continue to use it, the value that you started with in the financial year, it will not be the same value that you close by the end of the financial year. Tunakuwa tunasema value yake imeenda chini, na hiyo kwenda chini ndio tunaita depreciation. Si ati ni pesa tulitumia ikaenda mahali, but it is an accounting policy of making sure that we fairly present the balances of our fixed assets. Other key expenses there to note, we have the provision for building of 750. The Board of Management has deemed it fit that they can make a provision of the projects that the Chair has indicated in his report for us to have funds to finance those projects. And what we normally advise here, when you talk of the share capital, as you contribute to the share capital, the society gets liquidity. When it gets liquidity, it is able to invest and execute the project incentives that it has. So if it does not have that, then the next thing the board will do is go to the bank or any other financial institution and borrow for a loan. And we normally discourage the loan so much because there is a cost attached to it, which is higher than what we would pay once we get funds from the members. So we really urge you members, continue contributing the shares so that we don't utilize on the debt financing so much going forward. The next category, we have the governance expenses relating to you members and also the committee, 3.5 million, a minimal change from what we had used in the year 2024. And lastly, we have the financial expenses of 32,200. Page number 15, as we wind up, we have the assets in cash. Here is where I told you that we confirmed these balances in cash, and they were there in KCB, in our pay bill, and our cash in hand. We can confirm that. Below there, we have the investments. In the money market, we had 7 million. Again, we have received an interest of 100 and something thousand. So that interest came from these investments. And we commend the board for investing this money so that it does not lay idle within the current accounts that you have. So even when it comes to the payment of dividends, it will be possible to pay the dividends because we have already set aside money for that purpose. Number 13, we have the cutlery that we purchased that year. That is a small item there. Then we have the trade receivables, note number 15 of 50 million. That one, as I conclude on that, let me mention our key audit issue on the trade receivables. So in short, what the trade receivable indicates, it is the money owed from new members to the society. And you know, when you talk in the excess of 50 million that you owe the society, then we feel as auditors that that is a huge amount of money that we really need to check as members. Those who have arrears with the society, make sure that you pay those arrears. And once you pay those arrears, we are going to improve the liquidity of the society. Kwa sababu hii pesa mkilipa hii deni itaingia kwa bank. Na ikiingia kwa bank pesa itaenda juu. Pesa ikienda juu, zile projects zenye chair anasema wataweza kutimiza hizo projects zote bila mikopo, bila hata kukujia share zenyu. Kwa hivyo let us make sure that we observe this figure so much, we make sure that we clear the debts. What risk do we hold as a society? Ikikuja ni pande ya hesabu. Kulingana na sheria za kutengeneza hesabu zinasema kama unaona kuna deni, unaona hauwezi lipwa, you provide for it. Na provision ni kizungu, lakini wacha niifanye kuwe rahisi. Hiyo ni kumaanisha kutoka kwa faida zako utenge kiwango cha pesa, uweke kando hadi wakati huo member atafanya nini? Atalipa. Kwa pamoja members. Na tukisema tufanye hivyo wakati huu, ni kumaanisha hii dividends yenye tumetangaza siku ya leo, it will be affected. And it is affected because of the failure of members laxity in remitting the debts. So I really urge you, because it is something that we are monitoring. If it continues to do to maintain at this level, we must do some provisions there for us to comply with IFRS 7, IFRS 9. It's IFRS 9, and this has come to scrutiny by the regulators, even also the Ministry of Cooperatives. So I know this is something that they will closely monitor. Let us take that responsibility as members. We make sure that we clear these balances for us to improve the society's liquidity and also to ensure that we do not affect our dividends. Because if we do not pay, then there will come a time where we will be forced to do some provision, to make a pesa kando kwa sababu ya hiyo madeni. Lastly there, we have the welfare fund. Hiyo sitaisoma, hiyo chairman alisema. So as you continue to request more, or the fund continues to request more for inside of the payment, then the chairman and the board will come up, will figure out something on how to improve that welfare fund for it to accommodate all the needs of the members. Page number 17, the last item, that is the tax. That one is a bit technical, but I have already read to you that we are paying a tax of 1.5 million, and in that year we had already paid 2 million. So we had an overpayment of 530, and that is a positive to us that we'll be able to utilize this year. Let us go back to page number 6. Page number 6. I told you the responsibility to prepare those financials that I have read lies with the board of management and the staff. Our work is to verify and confirm the figures that I have read to you and issue our auditor's opinion, which is in page number 6, the one that I'm going to read. I'm not going to read each and every item there, but I am just going to summarize is that we received all the documents that we required for us to verify the financial statements that I have read to you, and we confirm that the financial statements are prepared in accordance to the bylaws, the relevant laws in place, and also the resolution that we passed at the AGM as members. And in our opinion, the financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of the society as at 31st December 2025. Even though there are the issues that I've mentioned to you that require us to improve on the share capital, on the debts of receivables, we still maintain that we give an unqualified audit opinion and we say your accounts are kept well by the Board of Management and the staff, as I have read to you. And the report was signed there by my partner, CPA David Biomo here, practicing number 1590. And something that have come in the auditors and accountancy profession is that we are required by ISPAC to append a QR code. So unaona QR code hapo chini kwa signature. So ukitaka kuverify kama sisi kama auditors we are regulated by ISPAC and whether we are in good standing with them, you can scan that QR code. It will give the details of the auditor's report that I have read to you. So members, I thank you for the good job done in the year 2025, and that is evidenced by the proposal of dividends that will be paid out today, and also the board of directors and the staff for making sure that the books are properly maintained for us to review them. So asanteni sana, and as I said earlier, we still express our willingness to continue in office for the year 2026, and if you deem it fit, we will accept that responsibility. So thank you so much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Joshua Meru from Bio and Mohia Associates. I think you remember the other time we had a Mokorino. Those who were with us in the AGM, we had the Mokorino. The Mokorino is their boss. That is Joshua and Grace. And Mokorino, leo ni siku ya church. Kwa hivyo Grace and Joshua wakakuja kumsimamia. Akasema the other time I missed church, leo nao wa miss church wakuje. But thank you for the great work that you have done for us, auditing our accounts. And we wish that we first of all own it, we propose and second, and maybe to give them a relief. Sometimes mathematics is not that easy. Ukisoma, ukisikia, imeingia, imetoka, I'm a mathematics teacher, and I know the challenges I go through in class. Because sometimes you find somebody is just dreaming about other things. Amelala. Lakini before we go to that, I would wish that we propose, we second, and we ask anything that you may be having before you forget. Anything that you may be having in the audit report, we ask before we forget. So, a proposer?
Anthony Nogo.
Anthony?
Nogo.
Anthony Moko. Oh, go up.
Nogo. L-O-G.
Nogo?
Yes.
Anthony Nogo?
528.
528. Thank you very much. There is a second there. Massimo Aura. Member number? 14. Member number 14. Massimo Aura. Thank you very much. Please, if there is any reaction in that document, let's do it right now. We shall go to the other document later.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I have three comments concerning the speech by the Chair. Number one.
No, we are dealing with the audited report for now.
Mine is not actually a query.
But I want to recognize the very good presentation made by our auditor. It was superb. Bwana Joshua, congratulations for the very good presentation. Actually, you have broken down the accounts and we have been able to get everything. I like the way you have challenged us in the area of debtors, where we need improvement, and also in the area of capitalization. So that was work well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And it's good to give your name and
God thank you. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, don't react to the account so that you can release the audit. Then you'll be helping our other things to start. Maybe if you are poor, you can use.
Let me answer.
Yes, I'm back again. Member number 158, Lucifer. My interest is on page 15. Okay, page 15, investments, and it's in a form of a question. Of late, I think all of us have been hearing about fixed funds, the rights of Mansite, the rights of what? Maybe Etica, yes, Avocap. And I think they are very huge interest, or you know. So I was asking, would you advise us to put a little bit there? Thank you.
If you can respond.
Thank you, member 158, for that question. That is a forward-looking question. And she has asked whether it is advisable to save and invest in, they are called the special funds. These are the Itamansa X, Oak Fund, and the others. So what we, as auditors, we normally advise there, please check the risk and return. They might have good returns, but the risk, ask yourself, you want Kenya invest pesa unapewa na 20%, for them to pay you at 15% or at 20%. That is a challenge that we cannot normally face. What we need to check is where they have invested their fund. Kama ni CAC, hiyo tunajua wameweka kwa treasury bill. Kama ni ya Oak Special, mjiulize ni wapi wanaweka hiyo pesa yenye wanawapea at 20%. And that is a balance that is very crucial for you to check. For your case, we would advise you to maintain in this short-term investment in stable financial institutions, because these are members funds. Kwa pamoja, kama ni yako personal, hiyo ndio unafanya nini? Ndio. Lakini for public fund, we normally advise to maintain it stable, where you know where they're getting their returns, institutions. So thank you for that question.
Any other question? At the back, at the back. Or about at the back. Kuna mkono nyuma.
Thank you. On behalf of the backbenchers, I'm going to ask a question. On page 7, there's a statement, the financial statement.
Your name, please?
Yes. My number 728, Grace Gigi. Now, my question goes to where we have the administrative expenses, 5 million there, and then we have the governance expenses, 3 million. I've noted with much concern, there is a lot of money, and maybe my question is, although it has been answered actually, I have followed the presentation and I know what they are, the expenses. Now the issue is that there is, I will wish to ask if there is any way we can reduce on the administrative expenses and the governance expenses. This will give us better dividends, because actually we came here for the dividends. Thank you.
We have heard that, and we will consult the auditor on whether what you are doing is in order, so that if there is something to be maybe removed from the administrative, it can be done.
Okay, thank you. Grace Domo, number 657. My question is on this, the 50 million on trade receivables. Page 15. That's on page 15. Trade receivables and prepayments. If I got it well, the auditor explained that this is money that is owed to us as a society. Is that okay? So my question is, if we have some debtors, then they should be denied the dividend, so that little by little we can try to recoup this money. Thank you.
The way we do our business, like right now, we are selling phase 103 at Onza. This phase, we are selling at 401 for 1,000. There is a minimum. You pay a deposit of 1,000, that is booking fee. Then you pay the minimum so that you get a certificate, which is 200 and I think 50. So by that time, you have paid 251. The balance, we give you about 4 months to clear. If you don't clear, if you are able to clear, the plot is yours, but the balance is converted to a loan. So that is the money we are talking about. On one hand, it is good because you get interest from it. On the other hand, the auditor is complaining. So it is you who owes the SAT. And maybe people can pull up their socks and pay. So I'm being told it is for members and clients. So if you have a client who owe us money, it is you to push, and the money is paid. Then it reduces. That is the nature of our business. Sometimes we give waiver so that people are able to clear, but it is too slow. Another question from the back? Middle, or those are not too hard. So a lady and a gentleman, then we conclude. Okay, there's one on my left, behind the system.
Jerry, member number 632.
Number?
632.
32.
632. Okay, Jerry, member number 632. My question is very simple. I want to request the gentleman who presented the presentation last to kindly, for the sake of English problem, please tell us the difference between direct cost, personal expenses, administration expenses, and governance expenses. Kindly.
Okay.
Thank you, member, for that good question. A distinction between those several categories of expenses. Number one, we have direct expenses. These are expenses directly attributable to your core activity of selling the land. So like land processing, title processing, all those are direct expenses towards the sale that you are generating. Personnel, those are expenses to your employees. Kila kitu mnalipa wafanyikazi, hiyo ndio tunaita personnel. Administrative, hizi ni za kurun ofisi. So mambo kama depreciation, printing, stationery, zote ziko hapo, hizo tunaita administrative. Governance, hizi ni expenses za members, mkikuja mkutano, AGM, every expense ni governance expense. Board of directors expenses, pia zinaingilia hapo. Any education that you do to the members and the board, it also lies with that. And lastly, financial is the expenditure to incur when holding accounts with the bank. There may be bank charges, interest expenses, that is what we call the financial. I hope that is clear, member. Thank you.
Gentlemen, a gentleman, if there is none, we proceed to the budget, treasurer's report and budget. Well, treasurer. Otherwise, we are going to release the auditor. Maybe we will meet next time.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. Members, I have a report, and this report basically tries to explain what has been mentioned in other reports. Because financial reports, they have been mentioned here and there. So I will just try to clarify a few things. So Chairman, Sub-County Cooperative Officer, members of BOM, shareholders, staff, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Allow me to read a brief report on our business performance for the year 2025. With your support, we were able to acquire just one piece of land. That is the year 2025, which had 52 plots. So in total, in the year 2025, we had 276 plots. And we are only able to allot and sell 70 plots. So you can see we still have 206 plots unsold in various phases. Plots sold, I have also indicated there. We have 4 years in a row. But let me just mention the year 2024, where we sold 83 plots, and we gave a dividend of 12%. Then 2025, we sold 70 plots, and we gave a dividend of 13%. Here, a question may arise as to how we are selling few plots, but giving higher dividends. The answer is, in some of our reports, including the minutes, it was stated that we started reselling some of the plots we had reserved in our phases. Previously, we used to reserve 2 plots in every phase that we buy. So we buy a piece of land. If it has 50 plots, we sell 48, we reserve 2. So those are the plots. When things are not working out well, we started now reselling them. And that means when we are selling a plot that we bought 5 years ago, there is no land cost. It's just a net income. Whatever we get, it's just net income. And that is why our dividend is slightly higher. It's slightly higher to 13%. So in this year, if you look at even the previous year, we had sold it at 3, the other one was 1 to 7, and we had 10%. So because of that resale. But this is not very good, simply because the vile tunasema so we are eating some of what we had reserved. So we are not growing, but we are eating some of what we had reserved. We still have quite a number, as you can see. We already have 206, but somehow we are eating some of our old reserves, and that is why our dividend is higher. Then we have the Naivasha project. In Naivasha, we normally have water, then houses, containers, and ground for hire. And as the chairman had pointed out, you can see, okay, we are getting something out of it, because an income of 604 is not very low. Unfortunately, we are spending too much on it, and we have that loss of that over expenditure. It's not a loss, we just call it an over expenditure in that phase, in that project. We have Ruiro projects. In Ruiro, we just put the water on its own. We are not doing very badly. Our income is stabilizing at around 669,830. And the expenditure of slightly higher than 300. So we have a retention of 333,571. That is why we are in Ruiro. If you look at the water alone in Naivasha, it will not match anything close to this. Because we get very little water and we get very little out of the sales. That's why in Naivasha we have combined all the projects. But in Ruiro we are talking about water and water alone. Higher. We have the Vision Plaza. They have the building behind us here. It has a hall, it has rent offices, and ground for hire. And in that, let me just read the last one, because you have the last one there. And you can see them, they are clearly stated there. The year under review, we were able to raise 1,075,000. But for last year, we had 49,825,503. The reason being, we increased our shares from 100,000 to 130,000. Due to this, we have corrected 1.6. That figure has been mentioned somewhere in the audited account. However, if all active members raise their shares to the maximum, that is 130, we would have the share capital of 87,490. If you subtract from around 50 million to 87, you realize that we can get, or we can have 37 million that 7 million will be injected to the society right now, and this money we have it. Because if all of us decide that we are going to reach, in the course of this year, to 130, we would come up with the building that we are talking about. That building, it will be built just behind here, a store, with 5 stories. Allows 5 stories. I'm sure that 5 or that 7 million can give us not less than 4 stories. An income of about 500,000 per month, which will do very well and will boost our dividends. All that will be an income. So that money, you have it, please raise up your shares so that you can build. On the shareholders kit, this is a difficult issue. We have our language, we call it shareholders kit. The figures indicated there, once again, they are also in the audited account. I will read the last 2 sentences. After taxation, the balance of 7.4 will be shared at the rate of 13%. Every member will be required to pay a withholding tax of 5% from the income, that is from the dividend. So you don't just work out 13%, you expect us to, and also every title of the current certificate of, also every title of the current certificate of that title is fake. Any document from the Land's office has a serial number. The serial number can be at the back or the front page. Currently they are putting it at the front page. It has a serial number. If it doesn't have, then it is fake. So, may I take this opportunity to most sincerely thank you for your continued support. God bless you, because they are intertwined. They are joined. The next one is the budget. You have it in your file or in the folder, and I would like us to go through it. It is not much. It is not much. Again, there are few changes as far as the budget is concerned. So we shall just go through the changes. You don't have to go through everything. If you look at the first point, or the first, if you look at the first point, or the first part of the budget, is the source of income. The source of income, we have adjusted the number of plots.
proposes view? Continuous, yes. Seconder?
582 Wairegi Kamau is second.
582 Wairegi Kamau. Okay, the other item is the power to borrow. That is item number 8, the power to borrow. Our power to borrow is 5 million. We are requesting we pass the same power to borrow. We get a proposal and a second.
Member number 131, Gladys Minor.
Gladys, we continue. Seconder.
Member number 564, Mukuria Muchene. I second.
Second. Mukuria Muchene. From that, we shall have a commercial break so that we can come to a reaction on the other papers. So Ms. Mararo to take over.
I wish we stand up as we prepare for the commercial break. Tusimame kidogo. Hey, sio commercial break ingie. And then we have our entertainers that we have been welcoming, and we also go with them to our Shirika Day. Immediately after this song, they will be coming in. They help us to advertise our society using comedy. Tumesimama, nataka kuimba. Kama unaweza kufanya kama waetu, the best. Okay, wacha turudie tena. Nimeona mumeshindwa kumwa. Ana okitino leo haha gethogokera maanisha atiriri. Tarora. Koro ni wongeka ati. Asa ti twere atiriri. Nani nana ko. Okelele kio mathomo-ine tondu ni ndaraikite kigeranio wega. Githomo kende kagoro githini. Asa. Na we no kira ukimenya. Nĩ gũcokia itũra rĩrĩ inegene. Itũra rĩrĩ rĩa Kĩambĩa nĩ gũcokia inegene. Kuga kunegena njĩkĩte kora. Nĩ wĩkaga ũru na gĩtambaya kĩa matha mũtwe. No kinya negene. Nĩ kĩrĩu. Atĩrĩrĩ, itũra rĩrĩ rĩa Kĩambĩa rĩrathirĩte inegene rĩgathira biũ na nĩ wenda kũrĩcokia. Andũ mathiĩ kwara manegenaga. Atĩrĩrĩ, gũtuĩke no wakahehu watigirwo. Heka kwenye ĩtagwo Vision Cooperative Society. Mokire makĩenderio mĩgũnda. Makĩenderio mĩgũnda. Mokĩte magũrĩte magathama. Andũ a Kĩambĩa. Makĩenderio.
Twanyu ko tuigana tururi mbere.
Tumizu tuikatiria mbia ile chiaro kwa nikyo tuikaraga. Kwa na tutitama.
Ndikwenda kumura ndike mwathire. Ukihana ta mutaguthoma mukwenda uhoro wa huko na mbia ii.
Itwe ni twathomire gĩkĩndeji. Na tukirutu gwikiraga turumugatiga kurona kawatarioko.
Kiambi na mbwe.
Nikyo tona twajiko ici twachimbi twakamba tuma chini twacherehani.
Nona tuthoma muno. Turamenya guthoma muno. Ona korwo ni uramũririe pura sokorwo we ni agĩkĩra menyire.
Acha njogithine
njogithine. No mwarimũ ni aramwĩrire atĩrĩrĩ. Ũrĩa aramaanisha. Ũramĩge na bure na nĩ ũrĩrwo njobi inegene rĩrĩ.
Ngururire nĩ kuo watũire inegene rĩakĩririo nĩkĩ? Nĩtuĩte no wakahe ũnegenaga.
Barĩa ngururire mathamire.
Mathire kũ?
Magĩthi na gũkũ Juja. Juja mathire makĩoya mũgũnda. Magĩaka nyũmba ciao cia gũikara iria ingĩ cia gũkomborithia. Makĩenderio nĩ kambuni ĩyo ngwĩraga ya Vision Housing and Cooperative Society.
Kĩama kĩrĩa ũnjĩraga kĩa arutani.
Nĩ kĩrĩa kĩama ngwĩraga kĩa arutani. Haya, kwĩna mbarĩ ĩrĩa ĩngĩ ya Njekehu wa Rũgongo.
Njekehu ũrĩa wa Rũgongo wa Ithe Mũkũrũ.
Wa Ithe Mũkũrũ. Ũcio nake nĩ athire Rũirũ bypass.
Agĩthiĩ bypass.
Kũrĩa mwena wakwa Kĩengei. Nĩ tũiguaga.
Marokagĩra mbara to Chũrũrũ-inĩ.
Aya, nao nĩ mathire na kũu na kuona mathiĩte na magaka nginya mabiacara mũno, mathiĩte magatheremera mĩena ĩyo.
Nao Mwangi wa Makondo mĩa mathire kũ?
Acio nao rĩ magĩthire mĩena ya Juja Farm na kuo mathiĩte na kũrĩ ona ciea ingĩ nginya kũu Juja Farm.
Ona kuo nĩ ndigaru.
No ndigaru.
Kĩgũre ũthame.
Atĩrĩrĩ ona nĩ ndĩ na tũoya kũu.
Ũgũrĩte kũ we?
Ai, ngũgũrĩte kũu nginya Juja Farm kĩrĩ na tuo.
Wĩna tuo? Ĩni. Waruta mbeca kũ?
Gĩthũkũmaga matha wĩciragia no mũndũ guo.
Kana nĩ makombagire mũndũ agakĩrĩha hanini hanini.
Atĩrĩrĩ nĩ marĩ obici ciao ũngĩkorwo na ciũria ũngĩthiĩ ũrie.
Njũrie kũ?
Obici ciao ikoragwo rĩrĩ Rũirũ kũndũ gwĩtagwo 104.
Nĩ mendagĩria andũ akũ?
Nĩkĩ magũkĩaga gũkwenderia nĩkĩ batagire thithia?
Nĩũkuonania ta ngũrĩma imera ithatũ.
Nĩkĩ? Nĩ ũkũrũ?
Nĩũkuona ta ngũrĩma imera ithatũ.
Nĩ ũkũrũ kana nĩ kũremwo nĩkĩ?
Nĩ kũgio nĩwe wa Njekehu. Na nĩtũkwĩraga nĩ ũgũthama.
Na nĩ ndĩthama. Na ndĩthama na ngũramia.
Thama no nganora.
Reke ngũhaingĩ. Mũtumia mũru naguo rĩ nĩerĩte gũthamio. Wakĩmemia. Wakĩmemia. Wakĩmemia rĩ matu. Matu.
Agĩthiĩ na kũrĩa ikamba-inĩ. Kũu kũrĩ makĩ.
Arĩmĩte macungwa mũno na maembe. Marigiti katarĩo marauga. Atarĩ ciĩtanga cia marigiti thikũ ici.
Nĩgũkĩonania ta ngũkĩhota gũkua ikũnia rĩa macungwa.
No nginya ũkuue ndũgĩkuithia na mbeca. Mbeca kĩrĩcio irarutithia wĩra.
Nĩgũikara gũkũ kĩambĩa.
Na nguno.
Kũnduta na nguno.
Nĩkĩo ũtagatherema. Nogatiga ndakũruta. Nĩ ndigakũruta kĩa hinya.
Tamba ũnjĩre atĩrĩrĩ. Nĩguo ũhiki wa Njekehu rĩ nĩ warĩ.
Ũhiki wa Njekehu githĩ ti wa ũmũthĩ githĩ tikĩo ndagera gwaku.
Nĩkĩo wĩkĩrĩte ngobia kũhanana na iratũ.
Na ndakũrehera.
Na no ndamenya ũrathiĩ Mũrũrũ. No ndamenya nĩ Mũrũrũ.
Nakorwo nĩ Mũrũrũ nawe. Areke ngũhumbe gaka ngwĩraga atĩrĩrĩ. Nyacia yakwa nĩ ũmwe nĩwe njũĩ. Ona wahana makari.
Ũnyonie Mũrũrũ rĩu. Aya ndĩna gakobia.
Ta wĩhumbe gaka wani.
Amba ũnjĩre atĩrĩrĩ.
Gaka nĩko karekerwo nĩ bamĩrĩ.
Aya nĩ ka bamĩrĩ.
Nĩ Njekehu rĩ. Njekehu nĩ akũgĩa mũndũ.
Akona yo tangĩetherwo hikĩrĩrio gĩe mũiru. Na wakĩhota rĩ ũkĩhe thayũ. Magĩtirĩ kerĩ. Ahe thayũ.
Ona kũmbana ũcio ndangĩũmbana. Ũcio nĩ wakwa ndĩika ũguo.
Ũhiki ũrĩkũ?
Ũhiki rĩ. Gwĩ kũndũ gwĩgwĩtwo Naivasha.
Naivasha?
Naivasha event ground.
Kũrĩa kwa
Nĩ mũhota kuuga ũguo. Tauga Naivasha event ground.
Naivasha
event.
Tata. Kwenda rũrĩmĩ na nĩ ndie magego.
Naiguo gũkĩrugĩtwo rĩ.
Nĩ tũgũthomithia. Kũu nakuo merĩirwo no githĩ matikaraga na gũkũ Lamu. Mere no.
Aterere. Andu acio ni mekite marketing ya kundu kou muno. Marketing andu ni mokite makikumenyaga. Makamenya ni kundu kwega kwina iwanja nene. Na iwanja icio ciao ri ciina nginya parking. Koguo ni mukuiganira muri andu aingi kwina nginya parking.
Ya
mitokaya koguo mutikwirwa anga muige parking ye bara.
Ngari itikuigwo barabara
itikoyo icio.
Na riu nacio iyo tukurugira ku.
Icio mutikuru mukue na mondo. Kwina mariko kou. No kuo murirugira mwenda gucina nginya nyama. Kwina kwa gucinira.
Nĩnjĩrĩga kũigua mwari wake mondo ũrĩa wĩrĩga gwĩka ũhiki-rĩ nĩguo maroririe Nyaiboca tũgĩkunya na tũkiuga atĩrĩ ũcio nĩ ũkarĩ gũkũ matware Nyaiboca
na no nginya mwaririe ndeto icio na Wanyũrũ nĩnyuĩ mwatigairwo kamũcene
nĩkĩ gĩgũtũma matware Nyaiboca
atĩrĩrĩ nĩkuo kũratwarwo thikũ ici andũ mamenyire wega wa Naivasha
nĩmamenyire
nginya arĩa mekũu marigicĩirie rĩ
tondũ kĩoya kĩu kĩa vision kĩnakĩ
kĩoya kĩu gĩa vision rĩ gĩ handũ hega mũno na nĩ kĩnene ũndũ nĩ gĩkũiganĩra andũ aingĩ mũkũrugĩra kũu kwĩna kũndũ nginya ciana ingĩthakĩra tondũ nĩ kũnene nĩ kũnene biũ
na rĩu-rĩ niona ningĩ kĩona mũndũ ona ndĩ mũkũrũ no magĩtĩkĩre ngĩtware wakwa kũ
no ũkũhika no wĩriragĩria
kamenya yena ya gatano
ũkũigua tũkwĩwae hawaii
makeigua ta kũrĩ kwega kũu Nyaiboca
kũrĩ gwakina ndoa
aya nĩ kũrĩ
we kũu ndũhotana nakuo kũrũ-inĩ
atĩrĩrĩ
iganĩra njeke hu nĩ akuire
kũndũ kuanga nĩ kwega gũkwendio nĩ arutani
atĩrĩrĩ ona mũriũ wa Wanyũrũ-rĩ no kwĩkĩire graduation akĩigĩrĩrwo thũmbĩ akĩhumbwo thũmbĩ
koguo gĩthomo nĩ kĩa mwĩtĩkĩrie
hĩndĩ ĩno warĩ na arthritis ya magũrũ ithuĩ tũtathire nawe
mastitis yangiĩte mahĩndĩ hĩndĩ ĩyo
ĩtagwo arthritis mastitis nĩ ya ng'ombe
kuyo gatiga gũthomithia nĩ
ndakwĩraga tondũ rĩu nĩ ũrĩtonora rĩrĩa ũrĩthiĩ kwaria gũkambĩ ĩni kana warĩrie atumia Mothers Union ũkĩmera mastitis ma mũgongo rĩ magwĩciria atĩa we nawe
ndirikana kũndũ kũu nĩ ndaigua ta kũrĩ kwega
nĩ kwega
kũndũ kũu rĩ
nĩ kwega na twathima kĩrĩa rĩ ũhiki ũcio rĩ nĩ gũthiĩ kwĩyonera ona nĩkuo kũregera uge ũgũrĩrwo kuo
na wanjĩkĩraga kũbia rĩ
atĩrĩrĩ
na nĩ ndaigua kũndũ kũu ta gwĩ kwega
mwarĩguo wa Wanyũrũ no mwana ũramũrorera na thogithi iratarũka rĩ ndũmwĩre kũgũrĩra buroti kuo no twathiĩ rĩ nĩ gwĩtuĩra cira
rĩu ngona nĩ gũkiuma kĩambĩ harĩ
kana koguo ĩciarĩrwo kuo
na marehwo gakĩrĩa
ndaigire wauga nyeki ya nja nĩĩrĩkaga na nĩyakĩrĩkire rĩu kũhika rĩngĩ
nĩtũgĩthiĩ tũtanagĩcererwo tũtigakĩage keki kana mũcere tondũ ũcio no
korwo nĩ ũkĩnyitithanirio nawe wambĩrĩirie inege no ndigũgĩkũrie
kwenda tondũ rĩu-rĩ nĩ kũrakario nĩ mwarimũ nĩkĩo ngugĩte nĩ ekũrĩa kũrĩa ngware nĩtũgĩthiĩ
arahika ũmũthĩ mũthenya nĩ ũyũ nginya mũthenya nĩ ũyũ
tũreta Naivasha nĩtũthiĩ
kwĩtagwo Vasha
akĩgwĩtagwo kĩ matikwenda gũgwĩta Nyaiboca nĩtũgĩthiĩ
tũkwona nginya safari rarĩkũ
na activity nĩtũthiĩ Nyaiboca tũkarĩa mũcere nĩtũthiĩ
Thank you very much. Can you clap for them? I think they have done so much on our Naivasha ground event. Kama uko na mtu uko mwambie tuko na event ground which is very colorful and people can hold their events there. There is also where we have our land, Konza. We are doing our Konza land. That is where, but sometimes land selling is a bit interesting. Tunauza mashamba, tunaenda Konza, tuko na mashamba kama 29, lakini ile shamba tuko nayo saa hii, I think it's one of the nearest to the Mombasa highway, because it depends on who is selling. Kama nauza leo tunachukua hiyo. So it happened that this time the person we got is selling a land very near Mombasa Highway, or those still among the pieces of land that we have in Kwanza, and therefore people should come in and sell those plots. Sisikia watu wakisema kama watu wako na deni ya over 50 million. Tafadhali chairman anasemanga kuja anzia hiyo deni, uwe ukilipa pole pole. There will be some money coming in all the time. Thank you very much, our comedian, and that was very good. This particular time, we are going to the reactions to our other reports. We started with our minutes. We went down to the chairman's report. So in case you had a question in any of those reports, that is what we are going to start. We are going to start with the minutes. Kama kuna swali, kuna comment in our minutes, hiyo iko kwa simu. Usiangalie yenye iko kwa kitabu. Because yenye iko kwa kitabu is a bit shallow. But the detailed one is in your phone. Any comment, any question, any reaction?
Thank you so much. So mine is on a Royal project. And by the way,
please give the page. If you
519, number 519. So my concern is on a Royal project 6-story building, if I had it well. So I kindly asking the management just to enlighten us on the location of that particular place. And is there any provision of an off-plan payment, maybe for any, I don't know whether they'll be for sale or what, for any interested buyer? And then the other one is for the structural plan of the proposed project. Will they be 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and the like? Kindly enlighten us on that.
Okay, thank you. Can we have the treasurer respond?
Okay, thank you very much. The location, let's start with the location. The plot is about 4 plots from here. There is a road. After the first one, there is a road on the other side. I've said 4 plots. If you use the main road, 4 plots, the last road that crosses to the road that goes to Mokoyo PCA. At the end of that road, there is an upcoming building. And I'm sure the owner of that upcoming building is there. Ours is the 3rd plot from that road. And from that building, it is the 2nd plot. So it's just across here. I don't know how I can explain, but people who knows the building that is coming up, which already has 3 stories at the end. Yeah, it's not more than 500 meters from here. If you go to this main road, it's known as Kabogo Road. When the chini watch the first road towards this direction, you begin to appear. Then you go across. Before you get to the Kabogo, the road that goes to PCA, the 3rd plot from that highway, I call it highway because one of the major roads here. So it's just across here. Actually, it is phase 12. Those who know where the phase 12 is, it is just down here. For a building coming up with 3 stories at the corner, that is where it is. Now for the plan, we have the architectural plan, and in a floor, apart from the ground floor, I think there are 4 2-bedroom house and 2 1-bedroom. And there is a, what do you call it? The one that is a small room, studio, and a studio. So about 6 rooms in a floor. The ground floor has only, basically it has a parking and two houses only. So the others, the 4 of them, are that kind of number of houses. 4 2-bedroom, there is a 1-bedroom and a studio. So basically we are looking at hiring as rental houses. 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, a studio in a floor. That's what I was saying. If we are able to raise that 7 million, that is in form of shares here. Okay, the BQ, even the chairman said it has not come out. But the architectural has been approved, the structure has been approved. We are waiting for a letter to start construction. A letter, the 2 documents are gone back to Kiambu so that we are given a letter to start constructing. That is where we are. Unfortunately, the money is in your pocket. You don't have the money on this side. So we will go slowly by slowly. And if you want us to realize that, we can do it as soon as this year. And we have the building. And I said, if you look at it critically, that project can generate $500,000 every month. Every month. And that money is good enough to give us the dividend. We are getting a dividend of 6 point something. Then the rest we go to the other businesses. Hii business tunauza mashamba, maji na nini, to take care of the salaries here and so on. So if you think that critically, let's bring that money. Bring what you can raise. If you get 10 million, 15 million, we just continue building as we move on. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Brother Tasha. It is very clear that we want to construct, and we have passed that in the previous meetings. The source of fund, as he has said, they are the shares. It is you who have not paid up to the maximum. The other source of fund, we agreed during the last AGM that we sell phase 94. Phase 94, we expect to get about 10 million. From 10 million, 5% of that, we take the commission. Then about another 5% of that, about depending on the terminal shares, we clear those people who bought those shares. Then we will be left with 7 million. So if it can be done immediately, we will start that project immediately after the approvals are completed. So the ball is back on the court. Sell the land, pay the shares, we start. Okay, any other question?
Member number 121, George Mutri. Mine is on the society's business. We are told that you had invited for the position of a marketer, and you had shortlisted 3 people who never turned up. I believe marketing is an important area in any organization. So it's my view that you should follow up on that. And what I'm wondering is whether you made an inquiry on why these people declined, because it's important to know maybe why, especially considering we have shortages of employment, why these people declined even to report for the interview. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. One of the reasons we tried to guess is the salary. Because somebody was asking about the salary, and she was to come the following day. And she had said she did another interview where she was given that 1,000. Then somebody asked the same question: how much can we give at division? Particularly myself said slightly lower than the 30,000 she was being given whenever she was to go. Then the following day, I never found that man, no communication from the person who had asked the question. So that would be one reason, and that's why you are saying we try to do a salary review and it also raise the salaries. The other one could be the nature of the youth we are dealing with. They want a lot of money with electoral work. That one you have to pull up our socks so that we certify them. Otherwise, there are certain people we are expecting to take over the society. The other reason I'm being invited, they fear that they might be told to come to work on Sundays, which they are convincing, but I don't know why you would choose to remain at home rather than take the job and go through this pain we are talking about. Okay, the interviews are also done on Sunday, but we resolved in our meeting that we shall try to do the interview on a different day apart from Sunday. Any other question from the minutes? Where is the mic? Mic, somebody?
Okay, thank you, Chair. Grace Dongo, 657. Mine is on the chairman's speech. There are just comments. Number one, we talked about the workers we need, I think on page 2. This is on page 2. And you have it that we need a cleaner and a gardener. I would suggest that the gardener would double wrap as a cleaner. Number 2, the issue of getting vibrant staff. For us as members, we have you people there as the BOM, and we have given you the mandate to employ workers whom you will think have the right skills and attitude to be vibrant. So it is the BOM to create that vibrant staff. Number 3, the issue of Naivasha and the fact that it is making losses. I don't know whether it is possible for there to be a subcommittee within the Board of Management. Can you maybe form a subcommittee specifically to look at the issue of Naivasha? If it requires a manager, the subcommittee goes ahead and looks for the right person for that job, so that it stops making losses. Number 4, in the budget, page 1 of the budget, I noticed that there is the vote head on water technician. Water technician who is being paid some 27,000 Kenya shillings. My suggestion would be, I don't know what the water technician does and whether whatever he does should be paid monthly, or maybe he can be called on a need basis, so that there is no monthly payment set aside for the water technician. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The issue of the cleaner and the gardener, Naivasha, the gardener is growing, the garden is being attended to, and the person who's doing it is not a qualified person. So if you can get a gardener there, maybe the area would improve and attract more clients. The cleaner is here because that is where we have the office. So I have sorted, or the BOM has sorted cleaner, gardener. One is Naivasha, the other one is here. Vibrant BOM, not BOM but the staff, the vibrant staff. If you look at what we do, displayed in the speech, there is a lot to be done, or there is a lot of work that is being done by the members of the executive. And you can see you're also growing. Okay? If you look at your composition, you're also growing. Like now, if I pick somebody from your side and he comes to share the meeting, unless that person has been in that business, the person cannot manage. So we end up doing everything, almost everything. But now we're saying, if we get a staff who can do all those jobs I was mentioning, the sourcing of the land, remember you have to source or buy a parcel of land that you can focus and see, this one will give us some profit. Many people may not do that. But if you can get one who can manage that, that is a good person. The same person could be a marketer. The same person should know the conveyance somehow. Although we also have the surveyor. The surveyor can do the survey work and also do the conveyance. But if this board goes without those staffs there to can do the work, then the business of the society will come to a standstill. That's why we are saying, let's look for, or we make our staff grow to that level, including driving. I say, somebody should not be turned back once he or she comes to see the parcel of land. If the manager is there and the client has come and the client is paying, he wants to complete the balance and also be shown the parcel of land. The manager should do that. Receive the money and also satisfy the client. That's what we are talking about. Somebody will know clearly. I don't want to talk of myself, but Ikonyo knows. So if Ikonyo was the staff, then I will not talk about looking for a staff who can do closer to what Ikonyo does or to what Suntaboro does. You want them to learn the business so that with time we can hand over to them, so that whoever will be elected from your side at any particular time, that person can come and proceed. You get it? Yeah, that's the vision we have. The other one also, the version, the technician, in the budgeting, we cannot put a budget, or we cannot have an employee without being fixed in the budget. Maybe your issue would come where maybe we would reduce the expenses of the technician. If the technician is permanent, can it be employed on daily basis or weekly basis? But our people don't do only one job. Like our driver, Robert. Robert is on the compound, he cleans, he's the one controlling the water. And if you want to go to the land, you also wait for Robert to take you to the land. By the end of the day, you get exhausted. The other day, he was telling me, I have to go for leave because the time has come. But the chairman, if somebody comes, let me be called from home, I'll take the person to the ground. Just imagine, all the way from Ebu, so that they can come and take somebody to the ground, then go back home. So we are trying to look ahead. We have several problems we are trying to solve as we move along. And that is one of the examples. Maybe Robert is not complaining. He's not complaining, but he tries. He tries to do all this. And the supervision of the water as it runs to people's homes is not an easy job. That's why you are saying that in Russia, if these people don't maybe wake up, we shall be forced to close the water. They come for it from the yours. But look at the challenges what the Russia has or have. We cannot wake up. Maybe if it's my business, I can wake up one day, go and close the water. But for institution, you cannot expose people to that suffering because the business is not giving you. And that is why I'm talking about the absorption. Look for the way of absorbing the loss, either by increasing the charges, either by agreeing you cross. If you agree with the people you cross, then there will be no problem. They'll be coming for the water from the kiosk. But the waterfall distribution, it has a lot of work, a lot of expenses, but very little result. Money, less than $1 million, getting it as an income is not a good money to give you dividend. In fact, we are sustained by that. We are sustained by that. Without that, these other businesses we are talking about, I cannot see them, but I can be succeeded. But without that, these other businesses, they are very minimal compared to our budget. Are you happy? Okay.
And I will add one thing. As the chairman is saying, if you look at the audited accounts, other sources of income, we are only getting 2.9 million. That is water, rent, this building. That figure is there. Other sources, 2.9. That's what we are getting. So RAD is the main thing. And we want to increase that to other sources to have 1 million or more, so that we are able to sustain. And something like rentals, something like the ground for hire, those are things that will give us money with very little expenses.
Thank you, Treasurer. The chairman's report, I want to make it easy for you because I have some of the points we will like to raise. That is the resolutions. The first one, we request you to open a common board to allow the shareholders, spouses and children to become members. A proposal for that in the second.
Praise Mauro proposes. Member number 6.
Second. Number 2, review minimum shares from 30,000 to 50,000. That means from 1,500 to 2,500 for the new members. And Mr. Bolo said this is the money we are targeting to raise. A proposal on the second. Proposal and the second for that. Review.
Number 15, Margaret Waboya propose. Margaret Waboya. Number 15.
Okay, second.
Number 536, Florence Muni, I second.
That one I explained in the report, and I challenged people at the university to work extra hard on that. A proposal for that. A proposal for item number 3. We have a separate budget.
Jarabi JW proposes.
Second. Jologe proposes second.
Jen Wanjiru Ndongo, 644, I second.
Proposal number 4, pay dividend at the rate of 13%, rest 5%, withholding tax. Somebody is there?
Number 542, Boniface Wadeka.
542?
542, Boniface Wadeka. I propose.
Second.
155, Peter K. Joroge.
155.
Yeah, I second.
Okay, Joroge. Okay, we retain the welfare fund at 1,200. And remember I said we are paying 700 something. We collected 800. So a difference of 90 something there.
Me, I have my 253, read your mind.
253?
Yes. Me, I have kind of a humble, I don't know whether it's a request. I feel like this thing of issue of the senior citizens, and I'm going there just a few years, is really discouraging these young people that we are trying to recruit in our vision, the Gen Zs. If I was asked, I would wish that the welfare, because by the end of the day, everybody has some pension. I spoke the other year, me that's what I had really said. So that we don't increase the 1,200 to discourage our young people. These are some of the things that I really don't like our Gen Zs. And that is my take concerning that. I have no problem with the 12, but more to that, and who would be willing to put money in our kitty, and it's almost private, I don't know. To me, we would leave the senior citizens, but and donation. That is my take. And if that is the case, that one I will be the first to propose.
Sickness and donation. Reaction on that? Somebody who can react on that? She's suggesting we remove the senior citizens, we retain sickness.
Member number 121. I beg you to disagree. I think it's better to give people something when they are well than when they are ailing, when they don't even feel the effect of what you are giving as a society. I think we should encourage that. Caring for them, encourage that. Caring for the aged. Because I think that is a way of giving back to the society, and I would actually be urging back to the society, and I would actually be urging, maybe later we review that, we try to raise it so that we are able to cater for that. But for now, my proposal is that we retain it at 1,200. Yeah.
Another comment of us will be attaining that age almost at the same time. At that time, then it will not work. Right now it may work, but the time is coming when it is not work. It will not work. So we can project because we can see the ages. Scientifically, we can even do project now. 10 years from now, it is possible to do that. So it may not work when the majority of us will be there.
Okay, we have heard. Now I want to put a question. Based on what is on the solution to retain, we retain or we do away with it. Can as many of similar opinions say yeah? Say nay. Dealt with it. That was the power to borrow. It was proposed in the seconded. I'm being advised that decision, we shall go along with it this year. When it comes to next year, it will be taken to the committee level, they discuss it, to the management level, then we report to you what you will see for the other year. That is 2027. Okay, from there we go to the elections, and like I said, we have elections by rotation. That one we shall hand over to the DCO to carry out, but before she proceeds, I'll give one gentleman and one lady to give a comment. Any comment from a lady and a gentleman, but not related to what we have voted on. Anybody with a pressing issue?
I think mine is just an appreciation I think you know that the country has been, things have been difficult, and when you are told that the dividends have been increased, I think that's a very big plus to the management, and we thank you for that.
Number?
410.
410, then? Mercy.
Mercy Moura.
Mercy Moura, thank you. Another one? A gentleman, if possible. Any gentleman? You can all say hi. The presentation of a gentleman.
George Juguna, member number 548. According to the chairman report, there is this issue about mining in Naivasha, and the land has already been destroyed. What is the way forward?
We discussed it in the board. Then we agreed we shall go back there, visit the ground, we see how it is, and then we take an action. So up to this minute, we have not visited. But by the time we'll be coming back, we shall give you the response. At the same time, we are going to communicate to the owners so that they know there's something we are doing. Okay? Madam Desio, over to you.
Thank you, Chairman. Chairman and your board members, hamjambo. My name is Margaret Como, Cooperative Officer in charge of Kiambu and Kiamba. And this is a day that we all await as shareholders, just to see the progress of our society. But before I do my comments, I want to commend the board for steering this plane, especially during a very hard economic times in our country. So we want to say that you have done a good job. We may not have grown maybe in the way we wanted to grow, but having shifted our total asset from 192 million to 197 million is not a small feat, so we commend you for that. We also appreciate you shareholders because of holding on to the cooperative and supporting us to where the society has come. I want to say that we have experienced a slowdown in land sales, and this is not unique to us in this cooperative, especially for housing cooperatives. The slowdown is not unique to us. The market dynamics, the demand has fluctuated. But then again, we want to say a good job to the board because they have tried to diversify and see what they can do just to make the society remains afloat. And there we want to commend you for that. And you can see that through our dividend that we have just passed of 13%. Members, I want to tell us 13% is quite good. There is no many investments that you are able to invest and earn 13%. So when the auditor raised the issue of share capital, at times you're wondering, and the way you're getting good returns, why are we struggling with the share capital? So we are asking you members, tafadhali, let us raise our share capital. You can go all the way to 130,000, and you're welcome because the return is good. Hata wale wameinvest kule kwingine kwa money market, you're not able to get at a rate of 13%. So I think it's a good investment, and you are all welcome to buy more shares. I also want to talk about the debt. 50 million. Last year we were still at the same point of 50 million debts. Tafadhali members, I know you have booked your land. We are asking that you are able to pay up those who are able to pay, so that we can be able to accomplish other projects that the board have proposed, so that we can raise our income and we continue growing our dividend rate. At such a time, many societies, when they start, struggling with their core business, others just completely slow down or just collapses. But our society has remained afloat because of your support, but we are seeking more of your support. Most of the housing cooperatives have been affected, I can tell you for sure, but vision has remained stable, has remained firm, and even the growth is there. So we want to seek your support, continue supporting this cooperative so that we all grow and celebrate the fruits of our labor. I think I want to stop my comment on that and finish up with this comment that says, cooperatives move at the speed of its members' support. So if you see us moving at a slow speed, that is the support that we are giving. If you see us moving at a high speed, that is the support members are giving. So let's continue giving enough support. So I want to go to elections. Kisheria, kila mwaka, a third of the board retires and they are due for re-election. But last year we gave a new directive on how the elections will be conducted. We said we will not be conducting elections on the ground. Just a few adjustments in the movement, and we are there to embrace that change. So we encouraged you last year that you may apply. You are vetted before you get to the office, and I believe notice was given. And we say every time you get notice and you are interested to vie or to be part of the board, you apply. And I want to say this, we only received one application, and I'll give a direction on that, because we have to vet and you also have to apply. But I want to say this today, if you are interested in the board, you have to meet the maximum. We don't want to have people in the board wenye wanachezea hapo kwa minimum. So tafadhali, we said for you to be a board, and I think I mentioned this last year, at least you have to have a maximum of the shares, that is 130. So for you to be able to join the board. So we received applications, and let me at this point I mention our retiring team is Peter Gekonyo, our chairman. I declare that seat vacant. Mary Wangeshi Mararo, I declare this seat vacant. And Eunice Ngoge, I declare that seat vacant. Chairman umena. Chairman ameanza kutorokea kiti. So I think the application we received, one was from Peter Maura Gekonyo. I also received an application from Mary Wangeshi seeking for re-election, and I also received from Eunice Ngoge. We also received another application for somebody who was interested. Unfortunately, that candidate did not meet the eligibility criteria kwa sababu lazima ukue na 130,000. So we want to appreciate that member who showed interest, and I want to believe by next year you will have attained the threshold and you are all welcome to apply. So because we never received any other application, members, for us is to ratify those who applied and they have met their criteria and they are also seeking for the election. So I will start with Peter Maura Gekonyo. Members, nipate proposer na seconder.
Michael Getao, 248, I propose.
Thank you. Seconder.
155, Peter K. Njoroge, a second.
Thank you. I go to Mary Wangeshi Mararo to put a proposal and a seconder. Their hands are many.
657, Grace Lungo, I propose.
Thank you.
Marianne Wanjiro, 55.
Thank you. Thank you, members. Let's go to Eunice Mogore Ngoge.
Catherine Wanjiku, member number 60, I propose.
Thank you. Seconder.
Gladwell Chege, 143. Seconded.
Thank you so much, members. For that, I want to go to the supervisory committee. The same happens. A third of the committee retires. Now they are always 3. So it is only one person that retires every year. So the person who is retiring today is Beatrice, the chair, and I will not request her to stand. So the chair is the one that is retiring for that committee. And also in this committee, we never received any application other than Beatrice seeking for re-election. So we are just going to ratify her. So can I get a proposer and second?
803, Jane Joroge, I propose.
Thank you.
Chicago 158, I second.
Thank you so much, members, for that. So I want to do it wholesomely, and I want to declare all of you duly elected as board members of Vision Housing Cooperative. So members, we want to seek also your support in this. When we give out those notices, and if you are interested, I can tell you for sure, I have worked with these people for some time, and they don't have a problem vacating this seat. Actually, they get troubled when you don't apply. Ndio maana unasikia chairman akisema we want to bring people on speed, so that wakiondokea, there are people who will take over without any hitch. So they have no problem, and it is up to you to apply. So next year, if you are interested, you are free to apply. So I think I am almost winding up, and I will just give a comment to the board, because as the chairman said in his speeches that he wants this cooperative to be there even in the next 1,000 years. But that foundation will be laid by you as the board. You are the drivers to this plane, and we have faith in you that we will land safely. So make sure you do all that. And when members elect you, always have a lot of faith in you and in what you can do. So let us make sure we do that. But I also want to say that if there is a board we have not had an issue with them, when it comes to compliance, when it comes to transparency, is this board. And in simple terms, I can tell you every coin in this cooperative can be traced. And I'm telling you that as their regulator, that every coin in this cooperative can be traced full year as we patronize Vision Housing Cooperatives. Thank you. Back to the chairman.
Thank you, Madam Bisio, for taking us through that agenda. And in a humble way, I would like to thank you all for re-electing my team, and also say that all what is happening in society is through God's direction, and wisdom is coming from Him. So we cannot say we are the people who is steering exactly the society task, and maybe the others, because all are teachers. Anybody of you can drive, but this time around we have God's favor. I want to promise you that I will continue managing your society with my team. I look for ways in which they can join hands like they have done in the past, and at the same time you can see it has clocked 28 years. Maybe with the time, I'll keep grooming and training other people to take over when the time comes. I'm happy right now. My vice chairperson is equal to the task, but she's a good student. So when the time comes, I'll recommend she takes over. But it is you people who will decide. On the side of the staff also, Agatha is doing very well. And I'm appreciating what she's doing to manage the society. On the side of the staff, she's the one who is here throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. And I can say she's also doing well, where she's not managing to sort out issues. We are also assisting her. And I'm sure if she's given the right support, she's going to manage the staff and the daily occurrences. And that way, we shall go to where we are talking about. That is a point where we shall have that vibrant staff. Otherwise, thank you all for that trust and your participation in our discussions. As we get to the end, I would like to request the treasurer if he has any announcement or any other member in front here to do it at this juncture.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. I have only one announcement concerning our lunch and transport. I think that money is being deposited in your M-Pesa. So please check before you leave this place whether you have your 1,500. If you don't have, wait a bit. Unless you are not going beyond Ruiru, Juja, around where the M-Pesa can reach you. If you are going beyond those destinations, wait around, you will get your money. For the dividends, we promise by Wednesday, we are likely to have sorted out everything and money will get to your bank. Or let me say before the end of this week, to be safe. But by Wednesday, I know things will start moving. Thank you.
God is good. I want to make two announcements. The first one concerns a very, very important document that you were told by our DCO last year, and it's my duty to keep on reminding you that we need that document in our office. On matters pertaining vision, anything that has to do with nominee, I request you update your nominee, and if it remains the same, don't bother. Tafadhali kuja to update nominee. We have three categories of people. One, people who have not filled that form of nominee. Wako hapa. Na tuko na shida when something happens to that person and three people come to the office demanding your property. We are left in a situation that we are not able to handle. It's very difficult. And it might end up working against us. For example, the person who is supposed to get is person A, and they are here A, B, C. And maybe in our own wisdom, we decide it is C. But legally, the person who should have it is A. We have a problem. But if it is written by your you and you sign, we are out of the woods. Tafadhali fanya hivyo, na last year tulisema tutafanya online. Evidence shows you people are not online people led by me. Ya mambo ya online naishia hapa, mkienda nyumbani mnarudi. Kwa hivyo, now you can get your nominee form, sit somewhere, fill it, get your nominee form, update it. Now, or any other time you visit. The whole of last week I was more frequent in the office than any other time in preparation for this. And I'm glad to say I saw 2 people. One was open enough. That showed me that you are there and you can do it and you have done it. My second announcement is our hall here had a regular customer every Sunday. I'm not sad, but I'm happy to say that customer went and came up with their own place. It used to be a church. Sasa wamejenga kanisa. Sio ni baraka. Lakini baraka yao inatoa kitu. Tulikuwa tunapata kila wiki. So if you are an evangelist or an apostle or a bishop or you know any who would like to hire our hall, it is now available. The only thing we cannot agree is to own it. One of our tenants had told us, can we give you this money and you move out? Nikamuuliza twende wapi? No, mwagiri hagothi. Now, watupatie pesa, lakini tukitaka tuombe hall, we will not allow that. Because this is for us, like now we can give them there, secure. For the community around and for that tenant of a day, but not permanent only. Finally, we are meeting next year. Those are 365 days. Personally, I call it an AGM, and I also say an annual get-together, because I know some of you will see you after 365 days. Amen? Kwa hivyo tuanane, but for that time, let us pray for this country. Sivyo? Hakuna mali zile, na tuende Singapore ni itakuja hapa. Sawa sawa? May God bless you.
Okay, you give Mr. Robert to make a comment.
Thank you, Chairman. Make sure the PA, my base is normally to disturb the PA. Normally make it soprano. Thank you, Chairman. I start here as the Chairman, Visual Housing Circle, which is, I always say, it is Vision Housing Saving and Credit Co-Operative Society. So this is what it means. This is what belongs to all of us. This is one that made, that came from AGM resolution. We are hosted by the same plaza, and we are doing business as a circle. So I am urging members to join. There are quite a number of us who are not members. So we are making us weak, and we supplement each other. We are subsidiary of Vision. So for you, I don't want to preach to the converted, because majority of you are converted. You are conversant with the circles, and so I don't want to do much of that. But there are 2 or 3 points I want to make. In your afford to get your money with part of interest. So join that. That one does not have minimum, does not have minimum. You can save as much as you can. You can save as little as you can. But it is withdrawable within a period of 1 year. So this account, you cannot miss a quote if you save with that. And this one, it is also even for groups. We have merry-go-round groups. Yeah, merry-go-round groups. Those ones also come and will assist you to keep that money until the end of the year. We have a number of groups, and especially women groups. I don't know what happens with us men. We have a number of them from Royal Soccer. We have a number of them, and they are doing very well. So they come with the money, and we spend that money immediately. We have others from private schools, where they save welfare tulipo shule. Mnawekewa na nani? Ni mmoja wetu anaweka ama ni mmoja. Yeah, when I was there, I used to be a treasurer. But we are doing that better, because you only tell your member tuma hiyo pesa kwa Vision, and you have a system where you don't have to walk all the way to this place. At the end of the year, we'll give individual member hiyo pesa yake plus interest. So don't leave this place before you allow yourself. Start with as little as much as you can, and make sure you also count. For the loans, we are supplementing, we are collaborating with the vision, so that if you want a plot, kama hii tulisa tunauza kule kwanza ya 4-1, come and we finance you to pay for it. Yeah? Because that plot will be your security. Do not say you're not going to buy from, and you buy from vision, you increase your property, your wealth. At the same time, you also improve your dividends, and you also gain from your subsidiary circle. So members, don't leave. The office is open. You can talk to our clerk who is up there, Joseph, and you'll be able to assist you. And if you have any question, you can. And the last thing, but not the least, we have a medical cover. Though the active teachers understand the SHA and she is working very well for you. That's what we are normally reading from the newspapers. We have COP Care, which you are insured by Co-Operative insurance company, that is CFC. So we are also doing that on their behalf. And we have an outpatient for it and an inpatient for it. So that one is very fast because it caters for the minor illness and even admissions. Come and we assist you so that you also be covered. When SHA is not working, COP Care is working. When you are in a hurry, you don't need to get a lot of contact here and there. Come and get that card. You normally use a card, the kind of ATM card, and you are treated from the CSC. And they have also introduced, or they have opened, a chemist where you get genuine and Dawa in their headquarters. But soon it will be shipped to the circle so that you can collect it from your offices. So make sure you are not left out. Sasa, and salama, Mungu awabariki.
Let's go for Mr. Dombe. He's the one who has been bringing up our child, Bishop, and it has really grown. In fact, I got some dividends this year. So, imekua. May I request, apart from Beatrice, maybe the rest of us who have been elected today, tafadhali simameni. I am one of them. Let's wave to these people. Thank you very much for electing us back to the society, and we pray God that He gives us wisdom to continue to do what is right for this society. Thank you. Sit down. So it is not easy, but whenever you find teachers trusting you, si mnajua vile tunakuanga kwa staff room. Yes. When you see teachers trusting you, then we thank God because we know it does not take our hand, it does not take our effort, it takes God's hand. Thank you for trusting us with your great office. At this particular moment, we are ending our session. Kama kuna mtu ako na queue sana, kuna kachai kidogo imebaki, unaweza pitia hapo, ukikunywa chai. This time don't be very specific. Ile imebaki ndio tutakunywa. Kipata nylon, kunywa. Kipata ya majani, kunywa. Sawa sawa. Kipata maji moto, well, good. So I request Mrs. Wanjoi, our supervisory secretary, to come and end with that for us with a word of prayer.
Good afternoon, members. Let us stand as we pray. Twasema asanti, twasema asanti, twasema asanti, ewe Mungu wangu. Father Almighty, in the name of Jesus, we want to glorify your name, Jehovah God, because of your faithfulness. Thank you, dear Lord, for giving us such a great day. We don't take it for granted that we have been here for the hours that we have been. We thank you that you gave us life and energy to come and be here, O God, and witness your blessing. Thank you for the year 2025 and the way you walked with us. We remember that we prayed to you that you would walk with us throughout the year. And indeed, you have done that, O God. Thank you, Jehovah God, and for helping us to put our trust in you, for this is why we have done fruitful business. We know it is not easy. It takes trusting in you and obeying your commands, O God, for us to do business that is bringing forth fruits for your members. We thank you, O God, for vision from when it was incepted in the year 1998, O God. All those years, Jehovah God, who have worked with us. We do not take it for granted, O dear Lord, that you have helped us to be in the office and even to be members, O God, and even to earn something every year that we come for this AGM. We thank you, God, for the many things you have done for us, even in our families. For Jehovah God, some of us, when we got into vision, we had little children, O God, and now you have grown them up. They are men and women, O God. They have gone to school, and Father, you helped us to feed them. We don't take it for granted, Jehovah. Thank you for the many milestones that we have seen through vision, O God, being able to purchase land and settle people, other investments, O God, like where we are, Jehovah, we don't take it for granted. We know that cooperatives are struggling with the investment, but Jehovah God, we have found it easy because we have trusted in you, and we have asked you for the way, and you have made a way even where there was none. So as we go away this day, we want to declare that, Father, we are blessed of you. Some of us, oh God, are senior citizens now, and we started when we were young. And Jehovah God, we are praying that you continue working with us in our old age, oh God. Help us, Jehovah God, to reflect and see how far you have taken us. And pray for our families that you may settle our children, oh God. Take care of our spouses, oh dear Lord. Take care of our neighbors. And even this country, Kenya, oh God. We surrender all unto you because, Father, you are able to do. So as we go home, we pray that, Jehovah God, you give us journey mercy. Some of us are coming from far. And even those who are coming from nearby, oh dear Lord, we pray for your grace. We know that you will take us home safely, and we thank you that we have not gone home empty. You have given us something to smile about. Thank you, Jehovah God, because we are trusting the whole of 2026 in thy hands. We commit ourselves to you, and especially our staff who work tirelessly, oh God, to make the office work stand. We thank you. We bless you for the committee members, oh God, and especially those who have been re-elected, oh God. It has taken thy love, oh God, for them to win favor from the members, oh God, and come back. We thank you, we surrender all unto you. Walk with us and bless us, oh God. We know that next year we shall celebrate because, Jehovah God, you have walked with us. We bless your holy name because of your faithfulness. In the mighty and everlasting name of Jesus, we have prayed and believed. And now may the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, and the love of God, and the fellowship of the Holy Spirit be with us now and forevermore. Amen. God bless you.